The legacy of the quarterback. Greatness is measured not by their speed, not by their strength, not by their agility. For the quarterback, greatness is measured in winning and achieving football's ultimate goal. Rarely have two quarterbacks with more talent met with more on the line. Today, one of these two will reach football's biggest stage and be one step closer to fulfilling their legacy.
Donovan McNabb and the Philadelphia Eagles. Michael Vick and the Atlanta Falcons. Who's going to Jacksonville? We welcome you to Philadelphia, and we welcome you to this NFC Championship game. Philadelphia, Atlanta. Winner goes to the Super Bowl. And now welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, and Chris Collinsworth in just a second. Well, the Philadelphia Eagles have a chance today to erase a lot of frustration if they can finally get past this round and into the Super Bowl for the first time since the 1980 season. On the other side, you've got the Atlanta Falcons, who roll in a supremely confident team, and they boast one of the best athletes the NFL has ever seen in Michael Vick as they play under first-year head coach Jim Mora. Troy Aikman, you're first up. All we've been hearing about from the Philadelphia Eagles this year, it's different. Why do they think this year it's different?
Well, they think it's different, Joe, because they feel looser and they feel more confident. But I got to tell you, being loose and being confident has never won a football game. Neither has coaching or scheme when you get into championship football. It's about the players. Great players make great plays in big games, and that's going to be the key here today. And for the Eagles, it's the same guys who have gotten them here to this point. You're talking about Donovan McNabb, Brian Westbrook, Brian Dawkins, Javon Curse, Jeremiah Trotter. If those guys go on today and play championship football, then I believe the Eagles will go on to play in Super Bowl 39, Chris.
But you know, Troy, you cannot be more confident than this Atlanta Falcons bunch. It was remarkable when we were talking to them last night. They truly believe they're going to the Super Bowl, and there's been so much made out of the weather. I think these are perfect conditions for the Atlanta Falcons. Remember, they are a running football team, a smash-mouth team. So they have a fast track down here, and the wind is really ripping. The Philadelphia Eagles, they're the passing team. They're the ones that are going to have to contend with that much more so than the Atlanta Falcons.
So while everybody was hyperventilating about the snow and the snowfall, that really doesn't appear to be a factor at all right now. As you can see, the sun is out. The question is the wind and how the wind affects the flight of the football here this afternoon. There's still time to select your singular fantasy football team for this week. Text message play to 63504 on your singular wireless phone, or vote on foxsports.com. Two African-American quarterbacks going head-to-head for the first time in the history of the NFL in a conference championship game. A historic day here in Philadelphia. Right now, let's go down to the field and check in for our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 100 individuals you see before you represent all branches of the United States military. They are some of the 450 individuals from the military and local charitable organizations that the Eagles are hosting at today's game in honor of their service to our city and our country. Now, please rise to honor America with the singing of our national anthem. We welcome today's performer, hailing from Philadelphia, 10-year-old Timmy Kelly. Here to present our nation's colors is the United States Navy.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
You look into the faces of these players, you know that it is all on the line right now. The NFC Championship game. The Atlanta Falcons, the Philadelphia Eagles, yours next on Fox.
You're watching Fox Sports, broadcasting in HD and presented by DirecTV. We think TV.
A weekend winter blast. Our area is facing a snow emergency. We're working around the clock to keep you ahead of the storm. Don't be caught off guard. Stay with the Fox 5 Storm Force.
Mercury Mountaineer, featuring advanced track with roll stability control and a best pick safety rating that Jeep Grand Cherokee doesn't have. Plus, comfortable seating for up to 7. Now get up to $3,000 cash back on the all-wheel drive Mercury Mountaineer. See your Lincoln Mercury dealer today.
50 years ago, Eisenhower was president. Sodas cost a nickel. And Marilyn and Lou started Marlowe Furniture. Today, Marlowe is celebrating with the biggest 50% sale in their history, with 50% savings in all 8 stores inside every Marlowe showroom. Plus, 1 year, no interest, no payment financing, and an amazing $50,000 furniture giveaway. We're 50, we're festive, and we're celebrating with the biggest 50% sale in our history. Come party.
A shift has been made, and better stories will be told. And hardcore just got harder, core. And taking Nate camping was only a problem for the tent. And the concrete jungle is finally tamed. A shift has been made. And when you think adventure, on road or off, think Nisa.
Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
The terrorist group is moments away from executing the Secretary of Defense.
Impossible odds
Jack Bauer went in by himself.
are the only ones he knows.
I'm not turning back.
Fasten your seatbelt
Command and Control is locking on target now.
and crank up the defibrillator.
We are attempting a rescue operation.
Go! Because the first 10 minutes
I'll be back for you. I promise.
are the most nail-biting you'll see all year. No! 24, the non-stop season continues at 9, 8 Central tomorrow on Fox.
American Idol is back, bigger than ever, and over 65 million viewers made it the #1 show on television. Fox Tuesday, the phenomenon continues with New Orleans' finest.
Sometimes it blows you away.
Super talented.
And freakiest contestants. Plus, an audition so controversial it made the judges walk.
We're out.
American Idol at 8, 7 Central, Tuesday on Fox.
Paris and Nicole are back, and this time they're the business world's worst nightmare. They're interns
If you just put water in coffee, does it work?
from a Wall Street firm
Hi, we're taking lunch orders.
to a busy airline
Do you want to kiss goodbye?
to a funeral home.
So which one of you is planning to die?
This time they mean business. The Simple Life Interns, 1 hour premiere after American Idol, Wednesday on Fox.
We welcome you back to Philadelphia. The Atlanta Falcons won the toss. They received. That means they will be working into the wind here in the first quarter. You see the wind gusting up to 37 miles per hour. And Jim Mora, 43-year-old Jim Mora, the 12th head coach in Falcons history, set the single-season record as a rookie head coach with the total of 11 wins during the regular season. And no head coach in the history of the Eagles has won more games than Andy Reid. But what's been hanging over Reid in this Philadelphia Eagles group is getting past this round and into the Super Bowl. Who's going to Jacksonville? Glad you're with us. And catching it with his momentum, carrying him backward is Rossum, who had such a big week last weekend. Out to the 19, that is it. He was dropped immediately. Roderick Hood on the tackle, a 19-yard return, and Michael Vick, who didn't have to do much with his arm last week against the St. Louis Rams, but certainly did plenty with his legs, protected by this offensive line. Todd McClure is in the center of it all, making the offensive line calls. Backs and receivers, this was the best running team in the NFL this season. Warwick Dunn with a lot of T.J. Duckett mixed in. And they'll start in the shotgun. Vick gets to the edge. Doesn't get much. Picked up 2. Keith Adams on the stop. And we look at the defense for Philadelphia. Jim Johnson's crew. Jim Johnson, the most aggressive blitzer in the NFC. Up front, Kearse, Simon, Walker, and Burgess. They get Hollis Thomas back for the playoffs, and that's big when you play against a guy like Vick to try to rotate in fresh defensive linemen. Trotter is such a difference maker at middle linebacker, and 3 Pro Bowlers in their very good secondary. 2nd and 8. Handoff is to Dunn. Dunn picks up 1. Keith Adams again. And it's Adams who's getting the start in place of the injured Mark Semino, a former Falcon. They'd love to have Semino out there, Troy, because of the speed he provides at linebacker against a guy like Vick, but Adams has been impressive lately.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, Keith Adams is actually a faster linebacker than what Mark Semino is, and he is outstanding in run defense. So a perfect substitution for Mark Semino going up against a team like the Falcons, who clearly rely on running the football.
3rd down and 7. Timeout Atlanta. Working into the wind, and an early 3rd and long for Michael Vick and the Atlanta Falcons. Third down and 7 when we come back to Philadelphia.
It's jammed or something.
What are you doing?
Step back.
Please.
What are you doing in my car?
Want to get away? Now you can. Fly on Southwest Airlines with our $39 to $149 internet specials to 59 destinations nationwide. Purchased by February 3rd, only at southwest.com.
You are now free to move about the country.
Is this Parents Against Kids? Parents, are you tired of your kids going over your family's wireless minutes? And kids, tired of them hassling you just for talking? Well, good news. Sprint got rid of ugly overages.
Protect your family from ugly overages. Now, 100 extra minutes only cost $5. Other plans charge at least $35, and unlimited Sprint PCS to PCS calling is included.
Now you can save your money for the cleaners.
Thank you. Sprint PCS. Now that's better.
You can probably tell it's got great pickup.
Let's pick up my friends.
Well, okay.
We have to get Bob.
Who's Bob?
Come on, Bob. My blood sugar's low. Give me the bag. Do you have any money? Where's my nugget?
What do you think of the DVD? Sorry.
Let's test the red one now.
It has everything kids want and everything you need. Sienna, now that's moving you forward.
The NFC Championship on Fox is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 39.
So an early timeout for Atlanta, trying to avoid a 3-and-out on their first possession since 1970 in the postseason. Dome teams are 0-8 outdoors in championship games.
And we do have a change for the Philadelphia Eagles. Javon Curse is now playing on the defensive right side, right in the middle of your screen. That is to try and keep Mike Vick in the pocket as he tries to roll left.
3rd down and 7. Vick going to try and run for it. Dawkins was his first to get his hands on him. And out to the 25. Time for a punt from Atlanta. A gain of only 2. And Brian Dawkins, the Pro Bowl free safety, was the first to get his mitts on Michael Vick.
And that's going to be the key throughout this entire game. You see Michael Vick, he's looking to throw the ball to his left. Look at the lane that he's got to run. Typically, he's been able to outrun people to the sideline. Brian Dawkins attacked him and got him before he was able to get out in space.
And Dawkins barely moved in coverage. He just basically sat there and waited on Mike Vick.
Not easy to punt into the wind, and it just hits a wall. Chris Moore takes a good Atlanta bounce and gets down just inside the 40. So all things considered, that's about as good as Chris Moore is going to do. 35-yard punt right into the teeth of this wind. Donovan McNabb and the Philly offense to work.
In 1876, my great-great-grandfather, Adolphus Busch, started brewing a handcrafted beer right here in St. Louis called Budweiser. And that recipe of ingredients is the same today as it was when it was founded over 125 years ago. I think tradition is a very, very important thing because there are certain values like quality and integrity that really should never change. Budweiser started as a great beer and is still that same great beer today.
Do the red one, Bob. Now do the gold one.
It's called Desert San Mica.
Whatever, just crashing.
With available features like side curtain airbags in all 3 rows
Now do the 8-seater.
and all-wheel drive.
Come on, Bob, do another one. Bingo!
The Sienna has everything kids want
Yeah! Do it again.
There are no more left.
What about your car?
and everything you need. Sienna, now that's moving you forward.
Do you want me? Do you want me?
Listen up. 2 hot deals. Get them now. At Best Buy.
Come and get me.
It's the best darn Super Bowl road show, period. Live on Fox from Jacksonville. February 6th, only on Fox.
The NFC Championship on Fox is brought to you by Budweiser. The bright color and crisp, clean taste you'll only find in the king of beers.
So I'll tell you what, nobody has been more animated along the sideline for the Philadelphia Eagles than Terrell Owens. Not playing today, went down on the 19th of December, but the Eagles believe if they get to Jacksonville and Super Bowl 39 that it's realistic that he could be in the lineup. Starting from their own 39. McNabb throws, pretty pass. First down, Pinkston. As he takes it just inside the Atlanta 49, a completion of 12 yards.
Well, here we are, and Todd Pinkston, when a corner is off and gives him a free release, as Jason Webster is doing, he's pretty good at pushing that corner off and then coming out of his route. We talked about it last week. Minnesota coverage against these receivers, something that they have struggled with. Be interesting to see if the Falcons start going more to that as the game goes along.
On first down, pressure on McNabb, and he'll step up and run. Penalty flag on the play as McNabb is brought down just shy of the 40. And we'll see who the penalty is against. The Eagles saying that it's against Atlanta. One thing Ed Donatel, who's the defensive coordinator for the Falcons, believes going into this game is that McNabb will run more.
Holding, 91, defense, 5-yard penalty from the end of the run, first down.
They get Brady Smith. That's Another first down for Philadelphia. Guys, I thought that was interesting, though, that with all the pressure on McNabb and with those great legs and what he can do as a running back carrying the football, he thinks McNabb will run more today than he has all year.
And I agree, and I think he should. And I definitely think McNabb was trying to send a signal with that early run. Don't get too fancy with your pass rush, guys.
Westbrook touches it for the first time today, and he gets nothing. Let's look at the offense and the offensive line. The big story at the end of the day last week in their win over Minnesota was John Runyon hurting his right knee. He's okay. He's wearing a brace on that right knee, and he will have his hands full all day with Patrick Kearney. Pro Bowlers Trey Thomas on the left side. And as we said last week, the Vikings came in saying, "Where's Waldo?" for Brian Westbrook, trying to find out where he is every time the Eagles break the huddle. No doubt the Falcons are doing the same.
Well, they won't have a hard time finding him right now. He's on the sidelines.
Just where they'd like him to be.
You know, you talk about Ed Donatel saying that they may run the ball more with Donovan McNabb. I think a big part of that is because Ed Donatel feels that he can hold up in coverage with these wide receivers.
Timeout Philadelphia. 2nd and 10 when we come back.
Being diagnosed with low adrenaline levels was devastating. No one ever warned me about adrenalitis, so I never saw it coming. There's times when you need adrenaline, and I didn't have it. That's when a friend who had beaten adrenalitis recommended the all-new 245 horsepower V6 Toyota Tacoma with the TRD package. That truck saved my life.
The 2005 Motor Trend Truck of the Year, the all-new Tacoma. Now that's moving you forward.
One of the reasons we play so well on the road is because we have a team out.
And then what happened?
John Elway drove 98 yards.
She definitely cares about what we eat.
Ooh, Miss McNabb, Miss McNabb. Al, keep driving. Oh,
come on. For away games, she loves giving us Campbell's chunky soup in microwavable bowls. She makes the road feel like home.
Campbell's Chunky. It fills you up right.
Blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see.
Today's great companies are adapting to change, using highly scalable HP Blade System servers powered by reliable Intel Xeon processors.
Things.
They were after me.
Hell wants him. Heaven won't take him.
They don't like you, John.
Earth needs him.
Something's coming.
Keanu Reeves. Evil. Constantine. Rated R. Starts February 18th.
Philadelphia defense did their job. It's hard to believe, looking down at that field from our vantage point, what was going on here yesterday with basically a foot of snow being dumped in the Philadelphia area. There's such an advantage for the Eagles working this direction with the wind in this first quarter. Screen pass, Perry, and what a good play coming up to make the stop is Brooking. That'll bring up 3rd down and long for Philadelphia as Perry picked up only 3.
You know, you just couldn't ask for more than what the Philadelphia Eagles defense did in that first drive. They needed the extra time with the wind here, and right now you have a huge 3rd down conversion because they really are going to have 2 quarters in this game in this direction with a very strong wind.
14th ranked defense during the regular season with the Atlanta Falcons. On 3rd down, over the middle, pass too high. And from this spot, you're looking at roughly a 50-yard field goal.
And when we've seen Donovan McNabb miss, it's generally early in the game and generally high, and that's exactly what happened to him there.
So I don't think there's any doubt that distance-wise, Akers, who's a strong kicker, Troy, anyway, can get it to or through the uprights. The question is, what's the wind going to do with it during its flight with the wind straight at the back of Akers right here?
Well, and he's talked about it and the impact the wind has on his kicks, and even he is not exactly sure once the ball gets in flight what the wind may do.
Instead, they flip it Lewis, and a great stop by this defense for Atlanta.
And once again, the Atlanta Falcons special teams come up absolutely huge. In the game last week against the St. Louis Rams, Joe DeCamillis' bunch basically won the football game along with the running game. They come right back with their first challenge in this one and make another huge play. Anybody else may have been caught off guard. They play it perfectly and turn the ball back over to their offense.
And probably a pretty good call by Andy Reid, recognizing the win. What kind of impact would it have if you don't make the field goal? You're giving good field position back to Atlanta. Take a chance, and you still got Atlanta at least backed up a little bit.
It was the rookie D'Angelo Hall who crashed down and made the stop. On 4th and 7, Lewis got only 3, and a handoff is to Warrick Dunn, and a nice gain on first down of 9 yards. Michael Lewis on the stop.
Just like they did a week ago, the Atlanta Falcons are going to have to face a defense. Look at all the guys around the line of scrimmage, and yet with an Alex Gibbs coached offensive line, they can run it against a 9-man front, a 10-man front. It just doesn't matter. They think strength against strength. They are better and stronger than are the Philadelphia Eagles up front.
2nd down and 1. Alex Gibbs, the offensive line coach for Atlanta. Handed off to Warrick Dunn, and Dunn gets it out to the 40. And it depends on the spot as to whether it's a first down or not. The official running in from this side of the field. It appears that it is enough for an Atlanta first down. It is.
And I think when you talk about the Atlanta Falcons and their running game and what Alex Gibbs does within that group, not an overly dominant group of players when you look at them individually, but collectively they play within this scheme exceptionally well. A big part of that is the cutback runs and getting people on the ground along the defensive line.
Gibbs will be like that on the sideline the entire game. Full of fire over there as Vick will put it up. Fires, and the pass is incomplete. That'll be pass interference. Des White down the field, and it was Sheldon Brown who bumped him in the back before the football got there.
Yeah, and they had him too. Des White does a real good job running the route. You're going to see him working against Sheldon Brown. They do it off a play action, reverse action in the backfield, but the ball gets held up.
24, defense, played through the back of the receiver, automatic first down, spot of the foul.
You can see right there the ball in flight. That's the impact that this wind is having on these throws.
And look at the job up front that Kevin Schaefer did against Javon Curse. That's going to be key all day long. If they can bootleg Mike Vick to his left side, they're going to have some big plays in this offense.
Wind is really picked up. A 19-yard penalty on Sheldon Brown. From the Philadelphia 41, they hand it to Dunn. Dunn gets it to the 40, picked up half a yard. First guy there, Hollis Thomas.
Well, it's no secret when you're talking about defenses and how they're going to try to play the Atlanta Falcons. They're going to put 8 guys up in the box. They're going to put 9 guys in the box. They feel very comfortable with being able to cover the Falcons wide receivers one-on-one, and that's why you've got to start bringing wide receivers down in order to pick up some of those extra defenders within the run game.
Well, they crashed down hard on the right side that time. Michael Vick may start booting to his right.
On 2nd down, Vick slings it to the fullback McCrary. Brought down by Adams, a gain of 3. 3rd long coming up.
Yeah, you talk about Keith Adams and his speed. Not a great cover guy, but as we saw right there, one of the reasons why the Eagles feel confident in their ability to defense this Atlanta offense is because they got great team speed. And Jim Johnson told us the teams that have had success against the Falcons, they've had great team speed and they're good tacklers. The Eagles feel they too have both of those qualities.
3rd down and 7. Vick to his right. Looking for room to run. Throws it up for grabs, and the pass incomplete. Algie Crumpler was fighting for it, and Vick is having trouble getting up.
Well, Michael Vick's go-to guy is Algie Crumpler. They're tied in. He's the leading receiver on this team. First, you're going to see the pressure that Michael Vick gets under. They take a lick on him. down the field. Jeremiah Trotter is going to be the one who's shadowing under Algie Crumpler. That's who Vic was looking for. He could not throw it on time. He tried to make an ill-advised pass late. Lucky that ball wasn't intercepted.
And now Moore again punting into the wind. Wow. And the wind throws it backward. And it takes a Philadelphia bounce this time. It checks up just inside the 30.
Wow.
All eyes were on Michael Vick trying to get up after this hit by Burgess. Atlanta trying to exhale, seeing him get up and get off the field.
Every 60 seconds, something cherished is lost. If only the right equipment were made available, such tragedies could be avoided. They say miracles happen every day. Well, when it comes to tying it down and keeping it down, that's what the all-new Toyota Tacoma's deck rail system is. A miracle. It may be the most important purchase you'll ever make.
The 2005 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. The all-new Tacoma. Now that's moving you forward.
Not in our house, buddy. Not today.
Oh, no! This ain't going down. Not today, Daddy, now!
Not today.
Not today.
Not tomorrow.
Nobody coming in here. Not in our house. Not in our house.
Visa, official card of the NFL and the house of the Super Bowl champion New England Patriots, where they accept no other card to get you in. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
That's mine. Hey, beer? Aspen Edge, what is that? It's better. It's like low-carb beer and great-tasting low-carb beer. Kind of like where he went to college and where I went to college. Sort of like the number of girls you dated in college versus the number of girls I dated in college. Kind of like your man purse and my wallet.
Aspen Edge, arguably the best low-carb lager.
I think it's more like your steak and my steaks. Seriously, is that my steak? You want to see your corn?
The NFC Championship on Fox is brought to you by the new Singular, Raising the Bar. By Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL, get ready for the game. By HP, services and technology help companies face, manage, and love change. And by the all-new Toyota Tacoma Motor Trend's Truck of the Year.
The wind blowing the snow around this stadium in Philadelphia. No score, and the Eagles get it for the second time. Algie Crumpler, in essence, went back to his basketball days in North Carolina to knock that floating pass down out of the hand of Michael Vick. Vick appeared to be okay, heading back to the bench, and now McNabb wants to put it up. As all day, and finds a receiver, Westbrook. It's off his hands. Good throw by Donovan McNabb. Incomplete, however, and down to Chris Myers.
Yeah, moments ago, Michael Vick is shaking off the injury, appears to be okay. Could be overheard. One of the assistant coaches down here telling him, Mike, no need to put the ball, throw the ball up like that, especially against the wind. Wait till we have the wind with us to do that type of thing.
I'll tell you what, after seeing that punt, you realize that the Eagles have to take advantage of the wind that they now have at their back here in the first quarter. If they come out of this quarter without points, that's a win for the Atlanta defense.
That was an 8-yard punt, the last effort by Chris Moore. Eagles hand it to Westbrook. He goes nowhere. Brian Scott, the safety, came up and was the first one there.
And the one thing that we've seen so far out of the Atlanta Falcons defensively is that the Eagles can't run the ball against them. They have been very stout coming up, making plays in the backfield, and once again forcing a 3rd and long for Donovan McNabb. And Troy, you make a great point. If they come out of this first quarter with no points, it's a big win for the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, the other thing that we've seen with these secondary players now, the corners in particular, they are now starting to press these outside receivers.
3rd down and 10. Blitz coming. Eagles pick it up. McNabb throws it out of the reach.
That's a foul
of his intended receiver, Lewis. There was coverage downfield by Christian Morton, an extra defensive back added to the active roster this week because of the injury to Kevin Mathis. And there is a flag down, however, it's on the near side of the field.
Well, I tell you what, Freddie Mitchell.
Prior to the pass, illegal use of the hands. Hands to the face, 21, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, that's going to take care of it anyway, but Freddie Mitchell that time was running right down the slot, and maybe 20 yards down the field. He got jammed. There's the foul on the outside, hands to the face, even a little grab of the face mask there. Freddie Mitchell was fouled on the other side too, so at least so far in the bump and run coverage, Pinkston's coming out of that one okay.
So a first down for Philadelphia instead of a punt. On the incompletion, they hand to Westbrook. Westbrook got out of the reach of Brooking for a moment and gain of 4. You know, you're talking about a defense for the Atlanta Falcons, guys, that at Kansas City in a 56-10 loss in October allowed 8 rushing touchdowns and 271 yards rushing. But what anybody talked about after that was the way Jim Mora handled the club. Didn't put him through tougher workouts the next week. Was very positive. And this Atlanta defense played great down the stretch.
Yeah, and Arthur Blank took out a full-page ad apologizing to the fans after that, too.
Inside handoff on 2nd and 6 to Westbrook. Brian Westbrook is down to the 26. They'll mark him at the 25. 36-yard run for number 36 of the Eagles.
One of the things that you can always take advantage of with a pass rushing team, they like to get up the field. You get the double team underneath. You get the kick out block by Jermaine Mayberry. Artis Hicks with a good block, and it just pops wide open. And when you're trying to rush the passer all the time, sometimes you can just pop one in the running game.
36 yards, 40 here in this first quarter for Westbrook, and a first down at the Atlanta 25. McNabb with plenty of time, fires. L.J. Smith inside the 5.
Well, this offensive line last week did a great job of giving Donovan McNabb protection, and it's continuing on into this game. Watch the time that he has to step up and survey the field. He looks to his second receiver. He comes back to the right. He's got L.J. Smith working shallow, Freddie Mitchell over the top. He had both guys. He decided to come underneath to L.J. Smith. L.J. Smith, a big factor in last week's game, makes a big play here today.
First and goal from the 4. Dorsey Levens stays on his feet and gets it to the 1. And now, with that second effort, touchdown.
Jermaine Mayberry at the left, at the right guard position is just going to simply turn his man out, Antoine Lake, on that one, and just create a huge hole up the middle for Dorsey Levens. This has been a very physical drive as the Eagles come back and just run the ball right at the Atlanta Falcons on this one.
What an effort by Levens to get it into the end zone. And Akers makes it 7-0. For a team like the Philadelphia Eagles playing in their 4th consecutive NFC Championship game, it was imperative that they get on the board first and not have that here we go again mentality. First quarter points, Eagles on top 7-zip.
Ready to make the move to Levitra for a strong, lasting experience? Ask your doctor if Levitra's right for you. Levitra is what many men with ED count on for a strong, lasting erection, for that quality sexual experience. Strong and lasting when he wants it. It's what Levitra's all about.
Levitra is only for men healthy enough for sexual activity. Do not take Levitra if you take nitrates for chest pains or alpha blockers for prostate problems or high blood pressure, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, and stuffy or runny nose. In the rare case an erection lasts for more than 4 hours, seek immediate medical attention.
Strong, lasting, experience Levitra for yourself. If you're on another ED treatment, maybe it's time to try Levitra. Ask your doctor about a free sample.
On DVD now.
Can you be perfect?
Move fast.
That's what I'm talking about!
Play hard. Score big.
The expectations couldn't be any higher.
One of the greatest sports movies ever made.
That's the way they play ball!
Friday Night Lights. Own the DVD now.
The line between form and function just became razor thin.
the Motorola Razr, only from the new Singular. The new Singular, raising the bar.
The playoffs are where moments are made.
I never saw anything like it. Michael Vick sets sail.
Steelers win in overtime.
What's next?
It's a 7-0 Eagles lead with 4:16 remaining in this first quarter. Skies are blue, wind is whipping around, and there's the scoring drive for Philadelphia.
Yeah, and I think you got to go back to the illegal contact play on D'Angelo Hall that kept that drive alive. Otherwise, the Eagles would have been punted.
The hands to the face call on D'Angelo Hall continued the drive. Then the big run by Westbrook, the completion to L.J. Smith, and a great effort on that run by Dorsey Levens to get it into the end zone. And for Philadelphia, their first touchdown in the last 129 minutes, 52 seconds of conference championship game.
Yeah, that goes back to the first quarter of the championship game 2 years ago when they hosted Tampa Bay. First possession of the game, they took the ball right down the field. Deuce Staley scored the touchdown. Last touchdown they had scored in championship play, of course, held to a field goal last year.
But remember, because the Falcons had moved the ball, if they had been able to get off an ordinary punt, the Eagles would have been backed up, but it was only an 8-yard punt. And in the second quarter, the Philadelphia Eagles are going to have to face that.
Rod Hood was the one in charge of keeping the ball upright as Akers kicks it to Rossum. And Allen Rossum hit that hole with a head of steam and gets it out to the 31. Hood on the tackle. A return of 28 yards.
One thing I really like about Jermaine Mayberry is not only does he get his block, but he turns his guy out of the hole to open it up for the fullback, Josh Perry, to come through and get a big block.
Yeah, and then on the other end, one of the key blocks, Freddie Mitchell going in motion on the play, and he'll take out Brady Smith, the defensive end there, which basically allowed Levens inside. Otherwise, Brady Smith's there to make that play.
Little Alex Gibbs medicine with a cut block on Brady Smith.
Hey, Freddie's more than just a receiver.
Oh, he's a lot more than just a receiver. You want to elaborate on that?
First two possessions last week for the Atlanta Falcons. They were up and down the field, 151 yards, 14 points today. Total of 19 yards. On first down, Vick keeps it. And throws it away. Wind almost brought that ball back into play. Sunday, February 6th, one of the biggest names in all of music will be performing live during television's most watched event. Don't miss Paul McCartney in the America West Mortgage Super Bowl 39 halftime show. Sunday, February 6th, only on Fox. Second down and 10 for Atlanta. Vick keeps it again, and he'll run it this time. He got to the edge, makes a move, and dives. A yard shy of a first down. The ball is out. But Des White was able to get back on top of it for Atlanta. That'll bring up third down and 1.
And here's the guy who's really on a bind on this. It's Derek Burgess, the defensive end, and he's right here. And what he's got to do is try to squeeze the cutback lane and at the same time be able to get back to the outside and make a play on Michael Vick. And quite frankly, you can't do both. You've got to make a decision, go upfield to contain Mike, and then hopefully you get help from the safety or linebacker to fill the gap.
Third down and 1. Vick keeps it again. Steps up and flips over the head of Crumpler. It's intercepted, but penalty flags are down. Sheldon Brown with the interception. Out of bounds at the 35, but we'll check the marker. And this appears to be against the Philadelphia Eagles, which would eliminate the turnover and give Atlanta first down. We'll wait and see. We'll get the call from Bill Carollo.
Pretty gutsy call that time on third and about half a yard. Put the ball in Mike Vick's hand and have him throw it down the field into the wind.
Prior to the pass, holding, 32, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Yeah, you're going to see Algie Crumpler. Michael Lewis is the one who's covering Algie Crumpler right there when he turned him. That's what brought the flag.
And it erases the interception by Brown. It gives Atlanta a first down at their own 45.
And you've got to be careful as a quarterback when you're throwing into the wind and you're trying to throw touch passes and getting the ball up and down. You can't drive them enough in this wind. Instead, the wind will get a hold of them, and they'll flutter and they'll hold up in the air. And that's when you get secondary players being able to come and make plays on balls.
Talking to Jim Mora, he wasn't concerned about Vic throwing with the wind or into the wind at all. I guarantee you he is now. It is howling here in Philadelphia. Handoff is to Dunn. And Warren tries to cut it up, and he hit a wall. Jeremiah Trotter, Keith Adams, and what a difference Chris Collinsworth Trotter has made to this defense since taking over in week 9.
Yeah, it was kind of entertaining talking with Jeremiah Trotter when we said, how in the world did the Falcons run up all those yards last week against the St. Louis Rams? And his answer was, did you watch the Rams play? He said, I guarantee you they will not come out here and run the ball against us like they did a week ago.
Second down and 8. More play action. Vic stops. Curse is now in his way. Javon Curse can't bring him down. Vic in the open field. A first down for Atlanta at the 40. Javon Curse was in that position of going one-on-one with Michael Vick, and Michael Vick blew right by him.
And the way that it started, Joe, it goes back again to Derek Burgess. He does a great job here of being able to get out and flatten Michael Vick out and keep him from getting outside. But then there's nobody else left on the backside. Javon Curse is the only guy there to maybe make a play, and he's unable to.
And Javon Curse told us he was going to take his shots at Mike Vick, trying to hit him hard. That time by coming so hard, he allowed Mike Vick to escape from him.
On first down, they hand it Dunn. Dunn gets to the edge, cuts it up, and down inside the 35 to the 33, a gain of 7. And with a minute 23 and counting remaining in this first quarter, the Falcons can't wait for this quarter to be over to go back down to the other end of the field.
Yeah, and so far, I think they've got to feel pretty good about it. Obviously, the penalty which kept the Eagles' drive alive on the last series, but here they are moving the football, and if they're able to come away with points here going into the wind, of course, we're running out of time here in the first quarter, but they've weathered this first quarter and going into the wind very well.
Second down and 3 with Duckett in the game. Duckett gets it, and the bigger back gets to the 31, picked up 2. And Jeremiah Trotter comes out stomping again.
Well, anytime the Falcons go to this zone play where basically they're just trying to get to the edge, Jeremiah Trotter is the guy. His favorite saying is, cut it back to your boy, send it back to your boy. Well, the boy was sitting there on that one and got a big shoulder full of T.J. Duckett. If they can stop that play, it helps them stop the cutback.
It's third down and 1. Realize the Atlanta Falcons probably will have 2 downs to try to pick up the 1 going in this direction. 10 seconds and counting left in this first quarter. They hand to Duckett. Duckett doesn't get it. Now with the quarter being over, you go to the other end of the field, and the decision will be forthcoming from the Falcons on fourth down. Will they try the field goal or go for it? As the first quarter has come to an end, but the officials are right now gathered at about the 32-yard line.
Timeout, Philadelphia. That's this team's second charge timeout.
What a smart play by the Philadelphia Eagles as they spend a timeout.
Reset the game clock to 1 second.
And the interesting thing is, guys, they may spend a timeout and give Atlanta.
I don't know if it's a good decision.
Easier to go for it on fourth down.
I don't know. I think it was a good decision because if they had not called the timeout, the clock runs out. Now it's an easy decision to attempt the field goal and make it a 7-3 ball game. Now you've got to make a decision because I'm not sure. We were watching their kicker, and it is a extremely tough kick going into the wind from that place on the field. I think you're almost forced to go for it on fourth down.
Oh, there's
now.
no doubt. I'm just saying in the end.
Right. I think it's a mistake because on the other end, give him a field goal. Who cares if he can make a kick into this open end of the stadium where that wind comes howling out of that one corner. Give them 3 points. We'll take the football back. If they hold them here, obviously it's tremendous for them. But you also, if they're turning around and going the other way, looking at the possibility they're scoring a touchdown.
Well, yeah, that's what your argument is based on the Eagles not being able to stop them. Obviously, you don't call timeout if you don't think your defense will make the stop here.
I'm just saying I would rather them kick a 48-yard field goal in this kind of wind than give them a chance on a 4th and 1. Maybe it'll work out for them.
Duckett is the tailback. They hand it to Duckett, and T.J. Duckett has the first down. And because of the timeout, the Philadelphia Eagles took it, gambling they could stop the Atlanta Falcons on a 4th and 1. They could not. The Falcons will have a fresh set of downs in great field position with the win when we come back in the second quarter.
Fall in love with the rich, bold flavor, Dr. Pepper. One taste, and you get it.
0 to 60, how fast? Introducing the new Cadillac STS. Let's dance. Break through.
With more Southwest Airlines flights to more places than ever before, America is your backyard.
You are now free to move about the country.
The terrorist group is moments away from executing the Secretary of Defense.
Fasten your seatbelt.
We are attempting a rescue operation.
Because the first 10 minutes are the most nail-biting you'll see all year. No! 24, all new at 9, 8 Central tomorrow on Fox.
Banging heads, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Atlanta Falcons. We're through one quarter of this NFC Championship game. And the Falcons have a first down inside the Philadelphia 27, trailing by those 7 points.
And let's be fair also, there's no guarantee that they would not have gone for it on fourth down, even if the Eagles had not used the timeout there.
First down for Atlanta. Vick sets up a screen to the near side. It's Crumpler, and what a good open field tackle by Keith Adams, and we've said his name quite a few times already in this game.
And I really think Keith Adams has made a difference on this defense. You talk so much about Jeremiah Trotter coming in at the middle linebacker position. Well, Keith Adams, a guy they call the Bullet, and the Bullet got shot on that one. He came out and did a great job on Crumpler, who's a tremendous athlete at the tight end position, and he, just like he did on special teams all year long, came up and made a huge play.
The guy who was waived by the Dallas Cowboys. They were trying to make a roster maneuver, and the Eagles saw him, grabbed him, and what a difference he's already made today. Warwick Dunn is down to the 21. Got 2. Derek Burgess on the tackle. Third down for Atlanta.
And you take a look at Warwick Dunn, and Warwick's used to coming in here and playing the Eagles on the road in the playoffs. He played them a couple of times with Tampa Bay. He came in here 2 years ago and played him while he was with the Atlanta Falcons. Has not had much success against this Eagles defense. Coming in here today and hoping to have a better day, but so far the Eagles defensively have kept him bottled up. Third down and 5.
That's Vick in motion, and they direct snap to Dunn. And Warwick Dunn has a first down inside the 15 to the 14.
Well, that's the same play they ran last week, but if I remember correctly, instead they threw it out to Michael Vick on the flank, and this time Warwick Dunn takes the direct snap and picks up a big first down. But this goes back to some of the things that Jim Mora did and saw when he was with the San Francisco 49ers. They had big runs on third down situations, third down and medium for first downs, and they came into this game thinking they could do the exact same thing.
How many sets of eyes in the Eagles defense do you think followed the body of Vick going in motion, and they run it to the other side with Dunn for the first down? From the 14, that's Crumpler. Michael Lewis can't bring him down immediately, and Crumpler is down to the 6. Picked up 8.
Yeah, that's one of the advantages that you get when you got a tight end like Algie Crumpler, and we're really seeing them all over the league right now with some of the other players, Tony Gonzalez and Antonio Gates, and they're in San Diego. And when you're able to split those type of guys out, you get a safety out there on them, because the Falcons believe that wherever they put Algie Crumpler, if they put anybody on him other than a corner, they feel it's to their advantage.
Second down and 2. Duckett, first down. First and goal from the 2 for Atlanta.
They went right into the teeth of a blitz there. They're definitely coming on the outside, and Jim Morris said, we just don't care. It's one of the great things about being in an offense with Alex Gibbs. Alex Gibbs has seen every different kind of front that you can throw at somebody. That time they came up and ran a safety blitz right into that run, and they just ran right by it.
Well, this is where the Eagles pride themselves, one of the best in the league at keeping people out of the end zone.
On first and goal, they hand to Duckett. Duckett runs into Jeremiah Trotter, Hollis Thomas, Keith Adams. Second and goal.
And I think one of the real keys when you're talking about goal line defense is being able to get into the running back's legs before he gets going. Watch T.J. Duckett as he hits the line, and immediately he's met in the middle by Jeremiah Trotter, and that's how you stop a big back from getting into the end zone.
That time Keenan Forney tried to cut Hollis Thomas, and he missed, and Thomas was able to make the play in the backfield.
Duckett lost a yard, second and goal. They faked the toss, and that pass batted down. Michael Lewis got up and knocked it away. It'll be third and goal.
And a good play there by Michael Lewis. He's the safety. He's the guy who spends a lot of his time down around the box, and he comes off the edge and just is able to get a hand on the ball and keep that one from being completed there to the fullback.
I'm going to bet Alex Gibbs did not like that call over there. I'm sure he would have liked to take 2 shots and try and pound this thing in the end zone. This is one of the top rushing teams in the NFL. Now they're 3rd and 2 and a long 2.
Third down and goal. 16th play of the drive. Duckett is split out to the bottom of the screen. Vick with time. Michael Vick won't get there to the 5. He lost yardage. Hollis Thomas. Vick did all he could, but Thomas closed it down in the end.
Well, that's just great containment by everybody involved, not allowing Michael Vick to get outside. They're aggressive enough to make him move. They don't sit back and wait. Hollis Thomas, playing in his first NFC Championship game because of injury, steps up and makes a play here. Good job and good discipline by that defensive front.
Jim Johnson telling us, he told his defense all week, don't get hyper. Stay where you're supposed to stay, make your plays, and stay within the defense. And everybody across the defensive front did just that for Philly. 7-3 Eagles, second quarter.
I have a new friend. He want me to call him Charlie.
It's not unusual for a child to create imaginary friends.
Charlie doesn't exist.
Gonna make him mad.
Why would you do this?
It was Charlie. Did Daddy tell you about my mommy? Let's hope you don't wind up like her.
Robert De Niro, Dakota Fanning.
Do you like games?
I love games. Would you like to play one?
I'm already playing.
Who did this?
Hide and seek.
Come out, wherever you are.
Rated R. Friday, only in theaters.
Hey, aren't you guys tired of getting punished by your teachers for talking too much in class? Yeah! Tired of getting punished by your parents for talking too much on your wireless phone? Yeah! Well, now your parents can relax, because only Sprint got rid of ugly overages. Check it out.
Protect your family from ugly overages. Now, 100 extra minutes only cost $5. Other plans charge at least $35, and unlimited Sprint PCS to PCS calling is included.
Your parents can save money, so you don't have to wear your big brother's pants.
Sprint PCS. Now that's better.
The NFC Championship on Fox is brought to you by Hummer. Check out the H2. Hummer like nothing else. By McDonald's. By State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by Coors Light. The coldest tasting beer in the world, Coors Light. The official beer sponsor of the NFL and Super Bowl 39.
The Philadelphia Eagles during the regular season, their defense ended up ranked 10th. They gave up some yards, but they didn't give up a lot of points. They ended up tied for second in the NFL in points allowed. And I guess it's only fitting that the three top teams in that category, points allowed, are still alive. We've got the Eagles, the New England, and Pittsburgh, who will meet later today across the state. J.R. Reed on the return for Philadelphia. The rookie from South Florida crosses the 25 and works his way out to the 28. Hollis Thomas and this Philadelphia Eagles defense doing their job in the red zone, making a stop. 7-3 Eagles.
Cold hard facts. As the Super Bowl approaches, millions of bottles of refreshing frost-brewed Coors Light will be tackled. Fans will get in touch with their inner linebacker. Grown men will dance. Games will be won. Voices will be lost. And tons of lucky hot dogs will be washed down by Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. The coldest tasting beer in the world and the official beer sponsor of Super Bowl 39.
I thought you were getting hors d'oeuvres.
It's game time, baby. Come on now.
What? That's a double quarter pounder.
With cheese.
Samantha wanted hors d'oeuvres.
The double quarter pounder with cheese. Pound one. Hors d'oeuvres.
Yes. And this is what I had in mind when I thought about you.
Since the debut of ER.
She's risking her son's life.
There's a good chance he'll die. Who are you?
I'm the doctor who's trying to save your son. You're the mom who's letting him die.
An all-new house after American Idol, Tuesday on Fox.
Now it's the Eagles' turn to try their hand at working into this gusting wind. They lead Atlanta 7-3 in this NFC Championship. Starting at their own 28. McNabb steps up in a run and slide. They'll mark him at the 33, and we go back to that last defensive play by the Eagles.
And anytime you're down on the goal line against Mike Vick, you have to spy. This time the Eagles come up with two guys whose eyes are only on Mike Vick and everybody else as well, and they hold him in the box.
Yeah, and here's why Vick wasn't able to get the ball out. Algie Crumpler, clearly he's going to attract a lot of attention. You got Javon Curse dropping underneath him, as well as Michael Lewis double teaming him in the end zone.
Second down and 4. They hand to Levens. Dorsey Levens is running hard. Picks up 3. 3rd and 1 coming up. Let's go down to Pam Oliver.
Hey, Joe, and a lot of high fives being passed around on the Eagles D. That group was jubilant about keeping Vick and company out of the end zone. Chris Collinsworth praised the Eagles' containment on Michael Vick, while defensive coordinator Jim Johnson did the very same thing. He knew the execution on that was perfect. Joe?
All right, Pam, thanks. 3rd down and 1 now for the Eagles offense.
I hate to belabor the point, but every time that the Eagles pick up a 1st down, about 3 minutes click off the clock for the Falcons with the win.
Levens has enough for a Philadelphia 1st down. Needed 1, got 2, and a fresh set for the Eagles. Kearney was the first guy to make contact with Levens for Atlanta.
You know, we saw Mike on that 1st down scramble and pick up some pretty good yards, and you know, a lot of people have suggested that maybe Donovan McNabb should scramble a little bit more, but that's not really a part of his game. You know, this year he's run less than he has at any other point during his career, and yet I think the reason he hasn't has been more his development within this offense, as well as his wide receivers doing a much better job of getting open than maybe they have in recent years.
Which is what McNabb sees in the future for Vick. Penalty flag on the completion to L.J. Smith. And L.J. Smith with a good run down to the 44-yard line of the Atlanta Falcons, but there is a marker down. And it's against Philadelphia. Looks like an illegal shift, possibly.
Boy, does that hurt.
Would have been a 17-yard play to Smith.
Shift on the offense. 2-man moving and not resetting. 5-yard penalty. Replay 1st down.
Freddie Mitchell is going to reset himself, get up on the line of scrimmage, but never actually get set. You see the secondary move, and that is 2 men in motion and the penalty.
Yeah, and the only way it could have been legal would have been if L.J. Smith had come to a complete stop as well. Then it's fine. But because L.J. Smith was in motion when Freddie Mitchell moved, it drew the flag.
So that wipes away the 17-yard catch and run by L.J. Smith. Brings up 1st down and 15. They hand it.
It's over.
Dorsey Levens. Chris Draft on the tackle, a gain of 4, and we haven't seen much of Brian Westbrook at this point. I mean, if that's the guy that the Atlanta Falcons were worried about coming into this game, Westbrook to this point, outside of that one long run, has not been a factor.
Yeah, but you can bet that as this game progresses, they're going to continue to want to try to get the ball into his hands. He's obviously one of the playmakers, but one thing we do know about Donovan McNabb, he does a great job of spreading the ball around. He's not going to get locked into just one guy.
Westbrook does not have a catch today. McNabb fires and the pass incomplete as his receiver Smith had fallen down. They try to bring up 3rd and long.
Excuse me, Joe. They tried to come back to the exact same play that they hit on the penalty. Just a little tight end screen out to L.J. Smith. And you were talking about Donovan McNabb and his running ability, but you don't always have to run as a quarterback to be effective. The threat of the run can be just as much. And that time they come out on the bootleg with McNabb, everybody goes up the field to him, and you try and drop the screen underneath to Smith.
What Ed Donatel talked about was not only the threat of the run, but the way he moves around in the pocket and buys time for somebody to get open. McNabb in trouble. Stays on his feet. Unbelievable. Throws. Has a man, Mitchell. What a play. 1st down, Philadelphia. And that is the brilliance of Donovan McNabb.
Well, it really is, because Donovan McNabb does such a great job of just keeping himself alive. And so as he's getting pressure, he's able to avoid the sack, but he continually keeps looking downfield as to where he can get the ball thrown. He comes out of there, he's still not looking to run, and then he finds Freddie Mitchell on the sideline.
And Freddie Mitchell held on to the ball. When I saw it pop up like that, if he had bobbled that at all, it would have been incomplete, but somehow he kept it pinned in there.
1st down inside Atlanta territory. McNabb going to air it out. Greg Lewis adjusts, makes the catch, and Lewis is down inside the 5. Working on Christian Morton. And a 45-yard completion into the wind, into the arms of Greg Lewis.
And sometimes you got to take shots like this because the wind actually helps Philadelphia in this situation. The wind gets a hold of it. It's underthrown. Greg Lewis sees it. He comes back, and he's able to make the play. The DB never gets turned to see the ball.
And the reason that Christian Morton is in the game is because of the ankle injury to Kevin Mathis, knocking him out of those nickel situations. And for the second straight week now, Greg Lewis with a huge play.
First and goal from the 4. Dorsey Levens. Levens to the 2.
You know, Troy, I really thought that the play that Greg Lewis made last week was a huge one in that game from the standpoint they kept trying to double team Westbrook, and so it left somebody on the field in one-on-one coverage, and the Falcons are trying to do the exact same thing. But when you get one-on-one with Lewis, he may well be the fastest guy on this football team.
That is a much better receiver than what you would think because he just hasn't gotten a lot of playing time. Most of his playing time came late in the season when they were resting a number of their starters, but during that time he's played well.
Alonzo Ephraim, number 76, is eligible. An extra tackle. McNabb back of the end zone. Lewis. Touchdown. So much for having trouble working into the wind.
Well, we'll see what happens here. Chad Lewis going to the corner. He had him right away. He floated this one a little bit. Did he get his feet in? One's in. The second is questionable.
I think you're going to get a challenge on that one.
We already got it.
I mean, usually when you tap that other toe, you see some dirt fly, and I'm not so sure the dirt was flying on that one.
No, I don't think he got it in, Chris. I think he got the left one down there, and then look at the right foot, and it looks like the right toe comes down on the white chalk.
There was something that flew up, but I think it was from his left foot and not his right foot.
Atlanta is challenging the ruling on the field. There was a touchdown.
We will take a break. Bill Carollo will give it a look under the hood. Terrell Owens and all of the Eagles and their fans hoping that the call will stand.
Not in our house, buddy. Not today.
Oh, no. This ain't going down. Not today, Johnny.
Not today.
Not today.
Not tomorrow.
Nobody coming in here. Not in our house. Not in our house.
Visa, official card of the NFL and the house of the Super Bowl champion New England Patriots, where they accept no other card to get you in. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
From the minute my son was born, I knew I wanted to be that dad. The guy who can show you how to throw a perfect spiral, fixing bikes and skateboard ramps, going to ball games. My father was that dad, and now I've become that dad. That's why I bought a 7.
The all-new 7-passenger 2005 Saturn Relay with the safety and security of OnStar and DVD players standard. Now, every 2005 Relay is available with 5-year, 60,000-mile, worry-free ownership.
I can't taste my beer. I can't taste my beer.
I can't taste my beer.
Every year, thousands suffer from taste loss in silence, and the results are devastating.
I can't taste my beer.
There is hope, thanks to great-tasting, less-filling Miller Lite, with more taste than Bud Light and half the carbs.
I can taste my beer.
Get the facts at PreventTasteLoss.com, because taste loss isn't your fault. Ignoring it is. Miller, good call.
The NFC Championship on Fox is brought to you by Saturn. People first.
Couple of questions when they look at a replay. The obvious one is, did he get that right foot down after the left foot was inbounds? Did he dot the I, so to speak, and get the toe of the right shoe down? It looks like from that angle and that replay that Lewis did.
Yeah, I agree. I think he did as well. It was a tremendous job by Chad Lewis getting that back foot down, and at the very least, I definitely don't think there's enough to overturn that play.
Yeah, that's the other question. Is there enough evidence to overturn the call, which was touchdown? We all think up here in the booth that the touchdown for Chad Lewis will stand.
Yeah, I think it will too, and there was nothing definitive to suggest that he did not get his feet in, and Boy, Donovan made that a much tougher play than what it needed to be.
And that last angle that we had was really the definitive one. And in a championship game, obviously, you have more camera angles than you do for a regular season game. That's going to help the Eagles there.
After reviewing the play stands is called. Touchdown. Atlanta is charged with their second charge timeout.
So that makes it 13-3 with the extra point coming from David Akers.
Just a tremendous drive by the Philadelphia Eagles going into the win, hitting the big pass plays, and really eating up basically the whole quarter that the Atlanta Falcons had the win.
So Akers trying to make it 14-3. See what kind of an answer the Atlanta Falcons have. Donovan McNabb completes it to Chad Lewis on the drive, a 45-yard completion to Greg Lewis. But it's Chad who got them both down. And the Eagles lead 14-3.
Silverado has better resale value than Ford or Dodge. That's why it's the right truck. The official truck of an American Revolution.
Yeah, having a little car trouble.
I'm State Farm Agent Larry Bitterman, and this is a true story.
I was there on vacation, so I called the local State Farm agent.
We're not really sure how the car got into the lake.
Yeah, the map was a disappointment.
They called a local diver, and it turns out that's me, too.
I think he started my claim before it even dried off.
And we settled it the next day.
Where would I have been without him?
Sunk.
Any insurance company can promise you a good price, but nobody takes care of you like State Farm. We'd love to prove it to you. Call an agent today.
Like a good neighbor.
State Farm is there.
Did you hear that?
Alien versus Predator. From the beginning, never seen in theaters. Alien versus Predator. Own it Tuesday.
You ugly son of a...
You may be moving away, but this is not a retreat. It's an attack. You see the angles, the crisscrossing patterns. You see the intersections of pathways and men. You see that space opening up. It shouldn't be there, but it is. And you do just what you always do. You let it go. The playoffs are where moments are made. What's next?
Under 5 to play in this first half of the NFC Championship game. And the home team, the Philadelphia Eagles, lead by 11. David Akers will kick it into the wind. Alan Rossum is waiting deep for the Falcons. Pretty good kick by Akers, and Rossum from about the 6.5. Good return out to the 30. Donovan McNabb has put the pressure of all the past failures of the Philadelphia Eagles in NFC Championship games squarely on his shoulders, trying to get Philly to the Super Bowl. He's put together a very good first half.
Hey, man, grab me one.
McNabb to Owens. Caught. He's at the 20. The 10. Touchdown. Oh, there's a flag on the play. And this one's coming back.
Make this the wildest NFL playoffs ever with the new bolder taste of Wild Cherry Pepsi.
Never mind.
It's the Cherry Cola. Also available in diet.
Is this Parents Against Kids? Parents, are you tired of your kids going over your family's wireless minutes? And kids, tired of them hassling you just for talking? Well, good news. Sprint got rid of ugly overages.
Protect your family from ugly overages. Now, 100 extra minutes only cost $5. Other plans charge at least $35, and unlimited Sprint PCS to PCS calling is included.
Now you can save your money for the cleaners.
Thank you.
Sprint PCS. Now that's better.
Come on, ladies. Come
£6 per pound.
You see that? Hey, think you can nick our grapes, eh?
Did you forget something, did you?
God, I paid for it. It's just one grape. You take from me, you take from everyone here. I'm really sorry.
You think you can nick our grapes, do ya?
The rules of the London underworld. Learn to live by them. Rated M for mature.
A 14-3 Eagles lead with 4:50 remaining in this first half. You look back at Donovan McNabb and what he's done in NFC Championship games. 0-3 record, 1 touchdown, 5 interceptions, and a passer rating of 50.5. Today, 6 for 9, 98 yards, a touchdown, and a quarterback rating of 140. And he has said coming in, put it on me. It's all on me. I will get this Philadelphia Eagles team to Jacksonville in the Super Bowl, and he's doing his part so far.
He was absolutely brilliant on that drive with the long pass and the scramble play on 3rd and very long.
Now we'll see how the Falcons answer this young Atlanta team. As Jim Morris said all week, playing with the house's money. All the pressure on the Eagles. Now the pressure on the Falcons, down by 11, and a gain of 3 by Warrick Dunn.
Well, and here's what happens with Atlanta is that they don't have to abandon their game plan. Clearly, they still want to run the football, but when you're talking about 4.5 minutes left in the half, you'd like to be able to take advantage of the win position that you have at your back. And so it will be difficult for them to be able to methodically drive the ball in the length of time that they have. They're going to have to create some big plays, Chris, throwing the football.
And I still think their best play is bootleg right out here against Burgess.
2nd down and 7. Vick fires, the pass complete. He gets it to Peerless Price, his first catch of the day, a guy who during the regular season caught only 45 passes.
Yeah, and that's really what they have to do. They have to be able to create some chunks, whether that's Michael Vick running the football, creating some plays and knocking off some yards, or coming out here to your wide receivers. The wide receivers have not been a big part of this passing game throughout the year, but Peerless Price doing a good job there getting in the void, and Michael Vick finding him.
First catch by Falcon wide receiver all day. On 1st down, it's done. It's Trotter. And nobody's motor's going any faster than Jeremiah Trotter, just like last week.
Well, Trotter played the best game of his football career a week ago, and he's following it up with another great one here today. That time they get some penetration inside. I believe that was Javon Curse. The offensive lineman tried to block him and had to leave Trotter alone. What do you say, Troy? Turn it back to your boy.
Turn it to your boy.
There you go.
He took care of it himself. 2nd down and 13. Atlanta with only 1 timeout left. Pass too high for Crumpler. And a penalty flag at the very end of the play. It was thrown by the referee, Bill Carollo. And they get Philadelphia for roughing the passer.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, a blow to the face mask, 91, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Sam Rayburn.
Yeah, that's Sam Rayburn. You're going to take a look at what happened, and you know, you come in as a defensive lineman and you're trying to knock the ball down and you hit the helmet, and you know, obviously intent was not to injure, but that's the rules. That's what they've been calling. They've been consistent with it all season. You hate to see drives remain alive on those kinds of penalties.
Atlanta does it.
The Falcons love it. It's 1st down from just outside the Philadelphia 40. Vick, little pump fake. Now over the middle. Crumpler, what a throw, what a hit, what a catch. Algie Crumpler hung on after getting a vicious blow from Brian Dawkins.
Boy, Algie Crumpler runs routes like a wide receiver, and he catches the ball like a bull. He took a huge shot at the end of that play by Dawkins. But watch the little double move now on Michael Lewis. Turn out, go right back up, and at regular speed, Look at the clean hit by Brian Dawkins. Just a great shot. One of those, you'll think about that one later.
And I tell you what, Michael Vick did a heck of a job pumping to his right, getting the safety to move, and then being able to fit that ball in.
They could elect to let the game clock wind down to 2 minutes. Instead, they hand to Dunn. And Warrick Dunn is into the end zone. And what an answer by the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, that's just huge, Joe. Yeah, I talked about it a little bit earlier. You had to get some plays from your passing game. They come out on second down, and they get the pass to Peerless Price. They get the big gain there to Algie Crumpler, and they come away with a touchdown here right before half.
Well, they've been hitting this stretch play all day long, and the linebackers have been catching this thing over the top. That time, Jeremiah Trotter tried to come back door on it, had to jump over one of the linemen and simply couldn't get there.
So with 2:02 remaining, Jay Feely will try to make it a 4-point game. And he drills it through. The point I was going to make is they reset the play clock. So if the Falcons wanted to let the play clock and the game clock wind down to the 2-minute warning, they could have let Crumpler go over, clear the cobwebs a little bit, then come back out for that first down play. Instead, they hand it to Warrick Dunn, and he just scoots right into the end zone.
Well, I tell you what, that is a huge drive for the Atlanta Falcons in this game. To get the ball with a little over 4 minutes in the first half, wind at your back, you're down 14-3, and to be able to move the ball down and be able to come away with a touchdown, that's huge.
And maybe most importantly is the fact that Michael Vick maybe gets a little confidence going right now, because they really didn't roll him out. They didn't do anything fancy. They dropped him back in the pocket. And now if you establish that part of Michael Vick's game, a lot of other things start to open up.
Two of his best throws, Troy, the completion to Price, and then that beautiful throw to Crumpler, and how he hung on to that. It's amazing on a cold day to suffer that hit and make the catch was impressive.
Well, so many times we talk about Michael Vick and his ability to run and how maybe he can't sit in the pocket and deliver the ball. We certainly witnessed it on that drive. A couple big throws, none more important than the one that he fit in there to Algie Crumpler. And you're right, what a catch he made. But what a big drive and a big game.
So it's 14-10. And the wind's going to start knocking the football off the tee. So they're going to have to bring in Aaron Beasley to hold it, as Feely will kick it off with the win.
You know, we came in here talking about these two quarterbacks, and so far neither has disappointed. These two guys among the very best that are playing the game right now.
You hear the foot hitting that cold football as Roderick Hood takes it on the return and gets it out to the 29-yard line, and that will bring us our 2-minute warning in this NFC Championship game. 14-10. The Eagles on top. Falcons with an answer and a hug from Mora to Warrick Dunn. Philadelphia with the ball, a 4-point lead starting at their own 29. Let's go down to Pam Oliver.
All right, Joe, as we watch both quarterbacks handle the win, unlike his Atlanta counterpart, Donovan McNabb spent a good 20 to 25 minutes before the game checking out the win, just like he did on that long catch by Greg Lewis. He threw a bunch of deep balls into the wind earlier today, and he told me that he is not at all uncomfortable with the wind conditions. Back to you.
All right, Pam, thank you. Well, if the Eagles are able to get it down the field and make something happen. Again, they're doing it into the wind. A minute 54 remaining and one timeout left. McNabb hit, dropped, and that's Patrick Kearney. Kearney during the regular season earned his first trip to the Pro Bowl by racking up 13 sacks.
And what a great spin move that time by Patrick Kearney working against John Runyon. Watch this, just dip underneath. Remember, Runyon has the bad knee and had no chance against Kearney on that one.
I had a chance to talk to John Runyon before the game. He said the knee was a little stiff, a little sore. If that continues, he expects Andy Reid to provide him with a little help and protection.
Second down at 16 after the sack. And the Eagles hand off to Westbrook. Third and long coming up. And with a minute 9 remaining and counting, you got to start thinking about using your last timeout.
I agree with you, Joe. I think I would have burned a timeout there for the Atlanta Falcons.
Coming up on the Visa halftime report, JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy will have highlights from this game. The Fox Sports ticker has up to the second statistics.
I'm on. It's cold.
Is Terry Bradshaw the first longshoreman ever win 4 Super Bowls?
3rd down and 7. McNabb is flushed out of the pocket. Kearney chasing. The pass complete to Westbrook. And Westbrook is going to be marked out. It looks just short of 1st down yardage.
And it looked like from here, Joe, that he may have gotten the 1st down. It may have been a poor spot.
Well, if it is under review, it will come from the booth.
Well, and remember, he's out of bounds, so the Falcons saved their last time out, and the Eagles would have to punt into the wind.
So McNabb gets it to Westbrook for Westbrook, his first catch. And now the question is, how good was the spot? And if there is a review, which there can be, it would be initiated from the booth.
And the chains that are on that side of the field are not the official chains. They're bringing those across the field now.
And they're there.
Ta-da.
So about 6-7 inches short, and there's no decision here for the Eagles. They will have to punt if there is no review, and we get a look at it from up above.
Big play in the ball game right now.
Yeah, it looked to me like it was a not very favorable spot for the Philadelphia Eagles. And you're right, Joe, there's no decision to be made here. Now punting to Atlanta. Atlanta gets the ball with 1 timeout. And depending on where they're able to return this ball to, if I'm the Eagles, I do not punt this anywhere near Allen Rossum.
On top of that, we've seen a Chris Moore punt going in this direction, travel all of 8 yards.
I think Rossum's too deep here. I don't think he can kick it that far.
Pretty good try here by Johnson. It hangs up, and Rossum from inside the 25 has blocking. Had a huge week against St. Louis last week and gets it to the 35 with 21 seconds remaining and 1 timeout left for Atlanta as they trail by 4. This February, NASCAR on Fox returns with the 47th running of the Great American Race. 43 drivers will clash in the fastest, fiercest, most high-powered sporting event in the world. NASCAR coverage begins with the Daytona 500, February 20th in high definition, only on Fox.
I tell you, the other advantage that Atlanta has when you got a guy like Michael Vick, Jim Mora told us last night he could throw it about 85 yards. So from here, they could potentially even take a shot as a Hail Mary as time runs out.
Wind chill 3 degrees down on the field. Vick has it batted into the air, incomplete. Let's go down to Chris Myers.
Yeah, Joe, Michael Vick has shown little emotion from the start of this game. The longer he was sitting on the bench, the cooler he was getting, or the colder. But he was up and hollering after that last defensive stop, cheering on the defense. It's gotten significantly colder and windier since the start of the game.
I have to tell you, one of the most impressive plays of this entire game so far was that punt by Dirk Johnson. He hit that thing 40 yards dead into the wind. That was really, really a big play.
We just heard from Chris, the wind has picked up. It's gotten colder. Corey Simon batted that last pass down. It's 2nd down and 10 with only 16 seconds remaining. Vick trying to buy some time. It'll go down. And that should just about assure that the score at halftime will be 14-10, and it will. That does it for the first half of this NFC Championship. Javon Kearse making that last play. Vick, McNabb, Falcons, Eagles. And it's 14-10 Philadelphia. 1 half to go. A trip to the Super Bowl on the line. Visa halftime show coming up after this from your local Fox station.
America's Super Bowl party kicks off on Fox. Sports superstars tee off for $1 million at the 17th hole in Sawgrass. Live performances from the Black Eyed Peas, Kelly Clarkson, and Alicia Keys. All access and behind the scenes. And the guys break down the big game. Expect the unexpected. It's the Super Bowl 39 pregame show in HD, February 6th on Fox.
From the fastest and strongest to the most capable and most powerful Dodge Ram trucks. Matched by none, envied by all.
Come on, man, floor it!
Now get 0+. That means 0% financing plus great package discounts plus bonus cash for total savings up to $9,100.
The 265 horsepower Acura MDX. Its heart's in the right place, even if you're not.
I just couldn't believe there's a job that actually pays you to ride your bike. I got some downtime between delivering packages. I'll bust out the crossword puzzle. Gumshoe, 3 across. The Post has a crossword puzzle every day. 1 across makes small talk. I've put the crossword onto my clipboard where people sign for my packages. It's chat, that's easy. I'm completely addicted, I'm obsessed. 35 cents for a crossword is a bargain. It's a little something to keep my clock ticking upstairs.
Your local Ford dealer has America's best-selling sport utility vehicles. Now get up to $4,000 cash back. The 2005 Ford Explorer and Expedition with up to $3,500 plus $500 military cash for a total of up to $4,000 cash back, or choose low financing. Now's the time to get going. Hurry in now. These deals end January 31st, so see your local Ford dealer today.
Whipping winds, dangerously cold temps. When can we expect a warm-up? We'll tell you tonight at 10.
The Visa Halftime Report is brought to you by Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. Get ready for the game.
Hey, folks, have you ever wondered if Howie Long can leap a building in a single bound? Or maybe you just want to know which NFL players he thinks are the toughest? Then check out the superhero edition of Howie Long's Tough Guys, brought to you by Chevrolet and American Revolution. You can see it right here on Fox Saturday, February 5th at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific.
Drag Michael Vick shaking hands before the battle. Dorsey Levinson taking a snap. Stop, but his second effort gets him into the end zone. 4-yard touchdown. Terrell Owens, are you happy? You bet he is. 7-0. Eagles on top of the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Now we move on. McNabb, play action at the goal line. Chad Lewis, corner of the end zone. Both feet down. Play under review, challenged by the Falcons. Rule a touchdown, 3 yards, 14-3. Back comes Atlanta. Warwick Dunn scores 10 yards out. Eagles 14-10, the most points the Eagles have scored in their last 2 NFC Championship games.
That Eagles defense did a nice job of making Michael Vick a pocket pass in that first quarter, although Vick was patient in the second quarter and scored. Jimmy, your thoughts?
Well, I thought Vick did a nice job getting the ball to Crumpler. He's going to have to do more of it at the second half. I talked to Atlanta coaches, and they thought about taking the win to start the game off, to try to get this crowd out of it, to try to get the lead right off the bat. This third quarter will be critical because in the third quarter, they will have the win. Philadelphia will take the ball. Philadelphia will have the win in the fourth quarter. If Atlanta can take the lead in the third quarter, all of a sudden the fourth quarter, psychologically, Philadelphia says, oh no, is it going to happen again? And so they will get tight in that fourth quarter.
Penalties have really hurt the Philadelphia Eagles, negating big plays on defense and big plays on offense. We saw it here, the illegal contact to the head on Michael Vick, which set up the Algie Crumpler pass up the middle, which led to the touchdown. The Eagles are hurting themselves.
Yeah, the big pass to Crumpler was from the pocket by Michael Vick. Excellent throw. Now, the only question I have in the second half is what we've seen the last 2 years. Will Andy Reid not get conservative? To me, that has been the downfall of the Eagles. Keep attacking, keep moving down the field.
I think he might be conservative in third quarter, but the fourth quarter, he'll have the win. He's got to open it up.
Well, the bottom line is we have a ball game, 14-10 to score at the half. Also, the game coming up later today, the AFC Championship matchup, Steelers and Patriots. Our Brian Baldinger caught up with head coach Bill Cowher of the Steelers less than an hour ago.
All right, thanks, JB. Look, Coach, last time you played the Patriots, you snapped their 21-game win streak. What did you take from that first meeting against them here on Halloween that you used in preparation for today's game?
Well, I mean, you just look at it from a matchup standpoint. I mean, certainly it was 3 months ago. What's at stake's a lot greater today. You know, we recognize it did not have Deion Branch, did not have Corey Dillon, but, you know, I think we looked at it, but, you know, I think, again, just more from a matchup standpoint, I think today's game still is going to come down to execution. I think there's two evenly matched teams, and, you know, hopefully we can find a way to pull it out.
Coach, you're 1-3 in these championship games here at home. Are you a better coach today in preparing this team to get to the next step?
Well, talk to me after the game. I guess everyone else will pass judgment on that. You know, I don't know about that. I mean, I think certainly all the games have been close games, and, you know, certainly we've come out in the short end many times. But it's a new year. That's in the past. We're dealing with the present, and we're focusing on the opportunity we have today.
Coach, good luck to you today.
Thanks, Baldy.
All right. JB, back to you.
All right, Brian Baldinger, thank you so very much. No matter how low-key Bill Cowher, he wants the game in the worst way. On February 6th, Fox Super Sunday begins with Buck, Aikman, Collinsworth, all access. Then TV, Howie, Jimmy, Troy, and Chris give you their untold stories of the Super Bowl. Then Tony Hawk's Underground Tour presents Boom Boom Hug Jam, a power-packed day coming your way on Super Bowl Sunday.
Proud sponsor of the NFL. Get ready for the game.
Fox tonight, Bart makes his first perfect test score and gets the surprise party of his life.
Bart's my bestest boyfriend.
The Simpsons. Then on an all-new Arrested Development, Buster and Liza. They're an item again.
She's amazing.
But is she ready to go steady?
Okay.
Followed by a bonus block of Family Guy and another Simpsons.
I'm gonna break every bone in your body. I wish I had no bones. Done.
It all starts at 7/6 Central tonight on Fox. American Idol is back, bigger than ever, and over 65 million viewers made it the #1 show on television. Fox Tuesday, the phenomenon continues with New Orleans' finest.
Sometimes it blows your way.
Super talented.
And freakiest contestants. Plus, an audition so controversial it made the judges walk.
We're out.
American Idol at 8/7 Central, Tuesday on Fox.
Southeast Asia and East Africa have been devastated by tsunamis that claim more than 150,000 lives.
But for those who survived, the real struggle has just begun.
By donating to the World Food Program and other organizations providing aid, you can make a difference that will save lives and help tsunami victims rebuild.
Now is not the time to sit on the sidelines. Millions of people need your support. Join the team and donate.
On a cold and windy day in Philadelphia, the NFC Championship game is at the half. 14-10, the Eagles on top. You look at their last 3 tries in championship games. The Eagles led in 2001. The Bucs led in 2002. The Panthers led last year by 4. That's the Eagles' lead right now. Donovan McNabb, a good first half. But it's only a 4-point game. Second half coming up.
You're watching Fox Sports, broadcasting in HD and presented by DirecTV. Rethink TV.
With any other checking account, you've just made an everyday purchase. With a Wachovia free checking account, you've just earned points towards a flight to Cancun. Wachovia extra free checking with Visa Extras.
Critics are raving about Covad VoIP.
We're all going to jail.
There was nothing we could do.
It had to be done.
Richard Parks.
CFOs, you're a joke.
Shut up, Richard!
If there's one thing you throw out this fiscal quarter, make it your old phone system. Get your free voice assessment today.
Dial-up has its downsides, but not Verizon Business DSL. It gives you higher speeds for faster downloads. And it comes with high honors, all for a very low price. Call 1-866-YES-2-DSL now. You'll get a great offer and today's best value in broadband for business. Verizon Business DSL. Your business will really take off.
all here in black and white. Cadillac CTS. Breakthrough. Visit your local Cadillac dealer for this attractive offer.
Wachovia Extra Free Checking with free online bill pay.
The death of a television comedy icon, plus how long these bitter cold temperatures will last at 10.
Start of the second half, still a couple of minutes away, 14-10, Philadelphia at the half. Let's go down to Pam Oliver.
Hey, Joe Buck, I talked to Andy Reid at halftime. He said that he felt that for sure in the second half, obviously, we got to get more points on the board. I asked him about momentum for Atlanta after that nice scoring drive. He said perhaps they got some, but defensively, he felt after Javon Kerr sacked Michael Vick to end the half that the momentum may have swung back for their way. Now for more on Atlanta, let's go over to Chris Myers.
Well, Pam, Jim Mora told me that he was surprised that the Eagles took a timeout. He would have gone for it on fourth down anyway at the other end, and he wants to make sure that his team has the wind in the fourth quarter. He's happy that they're running the ball successfully. He said Michael Vick is playing the right kind of game. He was also excited that they finally got to McNabb and got a sack, and he thinks they'll be able to do more of that. But it was interesting that Morris said that he likes mostly that this game is close and tight. The tighter it is, he thinks the tighter the Eagles will be as the game wears on. Something to look for. Joe?
All right, Chris, thank you. Yep, all the pressure from years past and opportunities past. 0 for their last 3 in the NFC Championship game are the Eagles. They lead by 4. Second half about to start on the other side of this break.
Well, I had a dream. I stood beneath an orange sky.
The multifunctional element.
Yes, I had a dream.
From Honda.
Stood beneath an orange sky.
Where will it take you?
The Eagles with the decision at the start of the second half, whether they want the ball or the win. They have elected to take the ball. Feely will kick it into the wind, and off we go. So Jay Feely will get rid of it, and on the return, it'll be Reed and Hood waiting deep. This is Reed on the run. The rookie gets it across the 25, and they will mark him down at the 27. We look at the halftime statistics as the Philadelphia offense makes its way out onto the field. See the pass yards for the Eagles. The total yards tipped toward the Eagles' favor. And those penalties that Howie Long talked about in the Visa halftime show wiped away a couple of big plays, including an interception by Sheldon Brown.
And I think maybe the most important statistic is that the Eagles have matched the Falcons in rushing yards. Clearly the way that Falcons thought they were going to win this game is running the football.
You see the weather. Temperature has dropped. The wind has died down a little bit as the Eagles hand to Westbrook. And Westbrook, who was the focus of this Falcons defense coming in on the day, carries it for 3.
Yeah, and I think that as far as what the Philadelphia Eagles have done offensively, they've broken away from what Andy Reid typically does. They ran the ball 12 times there in the first half. That carry there being their 13th rushing attempt to only 10 passes. And you look back to last year's game, there was some criticism of Andy Reid for not running the football more against the Carolina Panthers. Maybe that's the intent here against this Falcons defense.
2nd down and 7 for Philadelphia. McNabb with plenty of time completes it to Westbrook, only his 2nd catch, and Westbrook is forced out by Stewart. They'll mark him across the 35, picked up 5, 3rd and short coming up.
Well, and we saw earlier the move that Patrick Kearney put on Runyon, the spin move. This time he's still one-on-one engaged with him, and John Runyon does a good job. Obviously, that right knee, you see that it's heavily bandaged there, a real concern, but there's no way you're going to get John Runyon off the field.
Little blow to the head. John Runyon's always been known for taking a few shots here and there.
Yeah, this is actually his 15th playoff game, more than any active player in the league.
Play clock is already down to 4, down to 3. Just getting it away on 3rd down and 2 are the Eagles. McNabb being chased. McNabb, first down, Philadelphia. Rod Coleman couldn't get there, and Donovan McNabb gets 8 and a first down for the Eagles.
Well, they're trying to get Freddie Mitchell on a little pick play coming underneath, and it just didn't develop quickly enough for Donovan McNabb. And then he just does what he doesn't like to admit that he does very well. He talks about he wants to be a pocket passer, but I still think trying to defend this Philadelphia Eagles offense whenever he takes off and runs even a little bit is just so difficult.
And it's so demoralizing for a defense when you've got your receivers covered and then he's able to still pick up a first down with his legs.
McNabb airs it out. Coverage downfield. There's a flag on the play. Pinkston, the intended receiver. They're trying to pick on Christian Morton, who's a rookie out of Illinois. There's pressure on the play by Kearney, and there's a penalty flag that came in from the secondary.
And it's definitely going to be illegal contact. Christian Morton trying to survive back there in the secondary. They're rolling away and throwing all the way back to him.
Prior to the pass, illegal contact, 30, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So it was prior to the pass, so there's no pass interference. It's a 5-yard penalty, but a first down.
And the hard thing is for a rookie in college, that's no penalty. You know, that's just the way you play the game.
And then there's the hit. Patrick Kearney, he makes his presence felt, and he's able to get a hit on Donovan McNabb on the blind side. We saw John Runyon looking down. I don't know that necessarily on that play anyway. That was his man.
First down for Philadelphia, leading by 4. Pass complete. Levens. And Dorsey Levens gets 5.
You know, this is turning into a pretty good battle out here at right tackle. John Runyon again. Here's the spin move that Patrick Kearney used earlier and able to get the hit there on Donovan McNabb. He tries it again. He loses his footing, but John Runyon had a good base and didn't fall for the move.
Now they are starting to get some openings down the field now. McNabb has taken the ball and dumped it to some of the backs. Wouldn't be surprised to see some of those tight ends coming across on that crossing route. It's starting to open up now.
2nd down and 6. That's Westbrook. And Westbrook has a Philadelphia first down. Let's go down to Pam Oliver.
Hey, Joe, strain knee aside, if John Runyon continues to have trouble with defensive end Patrick Kearney, he has his division nemesis Michael Strahan to thank. I spoke with Kearney Saturday, and he acknowledged talking to Strahan this week to get some insight on how to play Runyon. Strahan said it's all about watching Runyon's feet. If his inside foot is up, he's blocking out. If the heel is down, it is just the opposite. Furthermore, Kearney also learned a few tips on Donovan McNabb and his tendencies with the snap count, guys.
All right, thank you, Pam. Kearney, who would be working on Wall Street if not for football, doing a little research as Westbrook finds room to run. Westbrook bounces it outside and gets another Philadelphia first down. Kearney upfield. There were other Falcons there, and nobody could bring down Brian Westbrook.
Yeah, and when you get into a game like this, you have to make tackles. They had opportunities. Patrick Kearney right there had a chance to bring Westbrook to the ground, and you've got to stop him before he gets going. This is a back that can get to top speed in 2 or 3 steps. You've got to hit him in the backfield. You've got to get him on the ground. Otherwise, he reels off runs like that.
Well, that was pretty good stuff right there, wasn't it? That was a little Walter Payton, Marshall Falk, just kept it alive, and big pickup.
Not a big guy, 5'10", 205, but a lot more powerful. And you may imagine they toss to Westbrook. And Brian Westbrook has another first down.
You know, we talk about Hank Fraley and you say Honey Buns and all that stuff, but Honey Buns can run. He got out on this play and is going to lead the way and just at the last minute able to knock his guy to the ground, and there is the corner. Secured on the outside, and if they can start to get that outside running game going, those bootlegs and some of the things that McNabb likes to do really open up.
Brian Westbrook had only 6 touches of the football in the first half. He has 5 on this drive. And trying to get a touch here, he ends up putting it on the ground and is able to fall back on top of it. A loss of 5.
Yeah, and that one was just a miscommunication between Donovan McNabb and Brian Westbrook, and they're trying to run a counter trap here, and Donovan took it a little too far, or Brian Westbrook came up too far into the line, but they came up together, collided, and the ball's on the ground. Fortunate in order to get that one back.
And this situation from the standpoint 3 versus 7, if the Falcons can get out of here with just 3, they have to feel great about it.
2nd down and 15. Play action from McNabb. They set up a screen for Westbrook. Westbrook got past Brooking and is brought down at the 13-yard line, got 9. Corey Hall on the tackle.
You know, Chris, you talked just a minute ago about Hank Fraley. Watch him, the center, number 63. He's really good at screens because he moves around extremely well, especially once he gets out in space. Look at the job he does right there on D'Angelo Hall. That's a corner, and to be able to even get a body on an athletic corner like that really says a lot for the athleticism of Hank Fraley.
3rd down and 6. Playing with the wind are the Eagles. McNabb, plenty of time. Time runs out, and this is nearly picked off by Scott. In his hands and then down to the grass, and it'll bring up 4th down. Dorsey Levin's the intended receiver.
Well, and Donovan McNabb had all day to throw the ball, but he's trying to get to Pinkston, and Morton's just got him blanketed. He couldn't get any separation at all.
And on the other side, Freddie Mitchell was wide open. He just picked the wrong receiver. It was man coverage across the board. The quarterback can go to either side, and he really got away with one at the end, basically just throwing it up to Dorsey Levins.
31-yard try here by Akers. Good snap, good hold, the kick. Good. And it's a 7-point game as David Akers, who was once with the Atlanta organization, knocks it through.
Congratulations! You've launched the pink slip virus. Your office is now infected. They'll soon trace it back to you. Good luck finding a new job.
Want to get away? Now you can. Fly on Southwest Airlines with our $39 to $149 internet specials to 59 destinations nationwide.
You are now free to move about the country.
The all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee. With its advanced braking system, it now lets you outperform a whole new class of competitors. The off-road legend continues on-road. Now get 0+. That means 0% financing plus bonus cash for a total savings of up to $4,700 on Grand Cherokee.
Good seeing you, man. Always good to see you.
My best friend. Give me one good reason why you do that.
How about 6?
Hey!
Fresh, smooth, real. Bud Light.
Come on, baby. I think we lost him.
It's all here.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited. The NFC Championship on Fox is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 39.
7-point game, the field goal from 31 yards hit by David Akers. Brian Scott had an interception that was just sitting there for him, went up with one hand, couldn't haul it in. And Akers on the 4th down play hit the field goal. So it's 17-10, Philadelphia on top. 8:55 left third quarter, and Akers, at some point they're going to figure out that they're just going to have somebody hold.
It's not going to stay today.
For these kickoffs. I mean, every time they try and do it without somebody there, it blows off the tee. Rod Hood, the one who did it last time, and it looks like he'll try it again, and Rossum waits deep for Atlanta.
You know, and we probably didn't say enough about the opportunity that Brian Scott didn't take advantage of. I mean, when you get into games like this, championship games, you never know what play is going to change the outcome of the game. And when you get an opportunity, you've got to make the most of it. He had one there and failed to capitalize.
Hood doesn't look too excited about holding that ball on the tee. Rossum.
He can down it.
Downs it in the end zone. So the Falcons will start with it. Michael Vick at his own 20. How close did Scott come to an interception and avoiding 3 points? That close. Frustrating moment for the Falcons and Brian Scott.
Inspiration redefine the order of things? Can uncommon luxury and Hemi power actually rewrite the description of the perfect sports sedan? Apparently so. Introducing the 2005 Motor Trend Car of the Year, the Chrysler 300, starting at $23,995. Chrysler, inspiration comes standard.
Access SuperBowl.com for complete playoff and Super Bowl coverage. And on game day, vote for the Super Bowl MVP. Only on SuperBowl.com.
Today's game on Fox is brought to you by UPS. What can Brown do for you?
The last 3 seasons, very good Philadelphia Eagles teams have had their year end in this round, the NFC Championship game. The Eagles lead by 7, 8:55 to go third quarter. Vick hands it to Dunn. Warwick Dunn. The little back cuts it up and picks up 6.
You know, you look at this Eagles defense and you see how they're going to play this. There are 10 guys within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. The only guy that was deep was the middle safety. Obviously, they're expecting run, and they're doing everything that they can in order to stop that.
No team in the NFL had fewer receptions by their wide receivers or fewer yards by their wide receivers than the Falcons this year. And off to Dunn, who cuts it back up the middle and picks up a first down as he gets 7.
Well, that's the second straight play now that we've seen. Remember all the stretch plays in the first half where they kept trying to get it to the edge, and they really never did the cutback very much. And neither one of those have been the full cutback plays, but they're now starting to look a little bit backdoor. And typically, as defenses begin to tire, some of those opportunities become available.
First down, Atlanta. From Vick. Vick knocked down and sacked. Darwin Walker, Derek Burgess, and another example of this Philadelphia defensive front
staying there in front of Michael Vick and giving him nowhere to go. It becomes a chess match between Jim Johnson and then the offensive coordinator, Greg Knapp. That time, Jim Johnson played coverage. You see there, he's got 4 deep. And then he brought the pressure up front with his defensive line. Nowhere to throw the football for Vick. And the line got to him before he could get rid of it.
And Lito Shepherd just all over Peerless Price. And that's exactly what happened.
A loss of 9 as Burgess got Vick for the sack. A gain of 3 here by Dunn, and the tackle made by Adams and Burgess.
But what you can't do against Jim Johnson teams is when you give up those sacks, now you're in 3rd and long situations. Now he can call anything. Michael Vick had time to get rid of the football on that last one, but he took the sack instead.
Yeah, and the only guy in the NFL this season that was sacked more times than Michael Vick was David Carr. So you leave yourself too many times where you have to overcome a lot of yards. 3rd down and 15. Eagles come on a blitz. Vick flips it to Jenkins, and he is brought down immediately by Brown. 4th down. And when you talk about trying to move the football into the wind and try to maintain field position, the Philadelphia Eagles did an excellent job there of stopping Atlanta, and now they've got to punt into this wind. Philadelphia should have great field position after this play.
And I really do think the magic number is 7. If Atlanta can go into the 4th quarter with the win, down just 7, they'll have an excellent shot at this one.
3rd punt from Chris Moore. Two guys waiting deep for Philadelphia, and Moore's punt hits that wall of wind and is touched at the 47. Only an 18-yard punt. Good field position for the Eagles, who lead by 7.
A 210 horsepower PowerTech V6, 2 available 4-wheel drive systems, 5,000-pound towing capacity, and one feature that really attracts attention. The new 2005 Jeep Liberty.
Now get 0+. That means 0% financing plus bonus cash for total savings of up to $5,600 on Liberty.
Alien vs. Predator. With an all-new beginning, never before seen in theaters. Alien vs. Predator, Tuesday.
Cold hard fact. Only Coors Light is frost brewed at ice cold temperatures. Stored cold and shipped cold. And when beer starts out this cold, it ends up this refreshing. Coors Light, our goal, the coldest tasting beer in the world.
Brown keeps my customers in the loop. Used to be they didn't know when they'd get their sunglasses, so they'd call me. Now, with UPS, my customers get an email letting them know when their order is going to arrive. It's like I answer their questions, even before they ask.
How'd you do that?
I'm telepathic.
Email notification for better customer service. UPS, what can Brown do for you?
Tuesday's new hit show is back.
Get some help.
See why House is being called the best hospital show since the debut of ER.
She's risking her son's life.
There's a good chance he'll die. Who are you?
I'm the doctor who's trying to save your son. You're the mom who's letting him die.
An all-new House after American Idol, Tuesday on Fox.
The elder Jim Mora up above watching his son coach the NFC Championship game. That Jim Mora, before he came to the New Orleans Saints in the NFL, won 2 titles in the USFL with the Philadelphia Stars. As Westbrook takes it, runs left, and he got nothing. Hit first by Brady Smith. We look back in this game. As a means of a recap, great effort by Levens and a 4-yard touchdown run. Michael Vick was stopped by Hollis Thomas. Donovan McNabb on a 3rd down and 11 completed an important pass to Freddie Mitchell. Chad Lewis on the touchdown reception at the end of that drive. Warwick Dunn then scooted in to make it 14-10 at the half. It's 17-10 after a 31-yard field goal by Akers. 2nd down and 11 for Philadelphia.
McNabb buys some time over the middle. Pass is complete. A gain of 14 to Westbrook. And there's no doubt, guys, that at halftime, the decision was made to put the ball in the hands of Brian Westbrook.
And this is unbelievable what they do with Westbrook here. Take a look at him. He's in the backfield. He's going to swing wide, but then once he gets Matt Stewart running, then he comes back underneath. Initially, it looked like a two-man route down the field, but it only happened because Donovan McNabb had so much time in the pocket.
And that's the point. They didn't get there in time and allowed that late-breaking route to get out there.
On first down, McNabb fires it low and out of the reach of Levens. February 6th, here's stories of past glory that have never been heard before and the untold stories of the Super Bowl. Terry Bradshaw, Howie Long, Jimmy Johnson, Troy Aikman, Chris Collinsworth reveal their untold stories as well as count down the top 10 Super Bowl moments as voted on by you, the fans. To vote for your favorite moment, go to foxsports.com on MSN, keyword top 10. So you guys will be getting together and talking about those untold stories as the Eagles try to make it to Jacksonville in Super Bowl 39. Westbrook is split out wide to the right at the bottom of the screen. They drop it off to Levens, who stumbles and is tapped down by D'Angelo Hall. Loss of 2.
You know, I really think this is an important drive for both teams. I mean, when you look at where the Eagles got the ball with great field position, wind at their back, and with them being up 7 points, I don't want to say that they could deliver a knockout punch, but almost the equivalent of that if they're able to move the ball down and come away with a touchdown, extend this lead to 14 points, because then you change the whole makeup of this Falcons offense. They then would have to become a passing team, something clearly they would be uncomfortable having to do.
Westbrook right out here in the slot.
Third down and 12. McNabb brought down at the 40. That'll bring up fourth down. And there is a penalty flag on the play. As it stands now, it's fourth down and about 9. It's against Philadelphia, so it will be fourth down for the Eagles.
And I tell you, that's really a great job by this Atlanta Falcons.
Illegal shift, offense, 2-man moving, not resetting. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, fourth down.
So Johnson will come on, and there's that hold by the Atlanta defense. Great effort by Brady Smith and company.
Great job by them not allowing the Eagles with great field position on that drive to get any points and still keep this ball game a one-possession game.
Johnson punts it. Penalty flag on the play. And the ball is going to be tapped down inside the 10. But again, there's a flag down back near the line of scrimmage. 31-yard punt. Well, we will check the marker.
Prior to the kick, holding 30, kicking team.
So you've got to make Philadelphia repunt if you're Atlanta. That's J.R. Reed, the rookie.
10-yard penalty, replay fourth down.
And just a huge break. Not only do you have a chance to now work it off your own goal line, but when you have a guy like Allen Rossum after the guys have already chased one kick back there, really, really dangerous. Here's a guy that was the fastest high schooler in the nation coming out his senior year, ran a 10-flat 100 meters, and if he gets in the open field, look out.
Well, we saw what he did last week to the Rams, the #2 punt returner in the National Football League this year, over 250 yards in return yards a week ago.
Line drive punt, and Rossum will let it bounce. And it's down inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. In the end, about a 6-yard difference after the penalty. 36-yard punt, 17-10. Philly. Atlanta has a ball.
I want to taste my beer, but I can't.
Every year, thousands suffer from taste loss. Look for the clues. Does your buddy smack his lips incessantly? Does your boyfriend act fidgety? Or do emotional outbursts come at inopportune times?
Why are you doing this to me?
Get the facts at PreventTasteLoss.com and protect yourself with great tasting Miller Lite, with more taste than Bud Light and half the carbs.
I've held it inside for so long.
Miller, good call.
I thought you were getting hors d'oeuvres.
It's game time, baby. Come on now.
That's a double quarter pounder.
With cheese.
Samantha wanted hors d'oeuvres.
The double quarter pounder with cheese. Pound one. Hors d'oeuvres.
Yes,
And this is what I had in mind when I thought about you.
From the fastest and strongest to the most capable and most powerful Dodge Ram trucks. Matched by none, envied by all.
Come on, man, floor it!
Now get 0+. That means 0% financing plus great package discounts plus bonus cash for total savings up to $9,100.
The NFC Championship on Fox is brought to you by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. By Nike Pro Apparel. By Capital One. What's in your wallet? And by Miller. There's good enough and there's better than it has to be. Miller, good call.
What a terrific effort by so many people to get this field and this stadium ready for today's game after a foot of snow was dumped on Philadelphia yesterday. The Eagles and the Falcons battling for a trip to Jacksonville in Super Bowl 39, 17-10. The Eagles on top. Starting from their own 14. Open with a throw and the pass picked off by Dawkins. Brian Dawkins with the interception. And Dawkins is down to the 10. Crumpler, the intended receiver, and Vick threw it right to Dawkins.
I couldn't tell if Michael Vick slipped on the play or not, but that was just horrendous. I mean, he had a chance to throw this one up over the top and just threw a line bullet. No, he just didn't see him. He never saw Brian Dawkins at all. Threw a shot right in his gut.
I tell you, Chris, it's almost as if he thought Crumpler was going to turn around right there, because otherwise there's no excuse for throwing a ball that flat. It was a good idea. Philadelphia, again, had 10 guys within 7 yards of the line of scrimmage. Take a shot down the field, but you got to get it up in the air.
Fourth career postseason interception for Dawkins. They marked him down at the 11 on the return. And this will cost Philadelphia 5 yards. But here's that opportunity, Troy, for the Eagles you talk about. All of the frustration of years past. You have an opportunity here.
Ball start, 72. Offense, 5-yard penalty.
We go back to the interception.
Yeah, that's Brian Dawkins. He's on Crumpler, and yeah, I don't know what Michael Vick might have been thinking. The only reason you would throw a ball that flat is if you thought Algie Crumpler was going to turn around on some type of curl route or an out route. And if he's going to go over the top, then you have to throw the ball over the top.
I think the answer is he wasn't.
2 minutes, 56 seconds remaining. Third quarter. McNabb to L.J. Smith. Incomplete pass. It's an incomplete pass. That'll bring up 2nd and 15.
Boy, and I tell you, this Eagles offense has a chance to put the dagger in right here, and they have been going backwards thus far. 2 straight mistakes, and really the best you can hope for right now is just a field goal attempt and try and get out of here 10 points down.
Yeah, and I think there's a big difference between being up 14 points and being up 10 points as it relates to the psyche and the approach then offensively for the Atlanta Falcons. If they're only down 10, I don't think they change what they want to do within the game.
2nd down and 15. McNabb, Mitchell. Mitchell, who had the big game last weekend against Minnesota on the reception, good for 7. And also, when you change what Atlanta then has to do offensively, plays right into the hands of Jim Johnson, the terrific defensive coordinator for the Eagles, who can just blitz Michael Vick from all different directions.
Well, you know what was strange about that last drive, and yeah, I think Troy makes a good point when they're up there stacking the line of scrimmage, but really 1 first down in that situation. If you can run for 1 first down, you're basically then playing the rest of the game with the win, and you put a lot of pressure on Philadelphia.
It's 3rd down and 8 here for the Eagles. McNabb gets hit from behind, and the ball is out. Donovan McNabb gets on top of it. Brady Smith came off the edge, knocked it out of the hand of McNabb, and it'll be 4th down for Philadelphia.
Well, you're going to watch Brady Smith. He's working against Trey Thomas, and he just uses a speed move and is able to come all the way around the backside because Donovan couldn't find anybody open. That is not on Trey Thomas. Donovan's got to know, especially down in the red zone, you cannot hang on to the ball. You don't have that kind of time.
He was trying to get it to Westbrook on that little crossing route, but he got picked off in the traffic, and there was nowhere to go.
34-yard try from Akers, who was hit from 31, and this one is drilled. That makes it a 10-point game. Mora celebrates that defense, which kept the Eagles out of the end zone.
Your family tree just got a whole lot bigger.
Hi, Mom.
Now that Singular has joined forces with AT&T Wireless to bring you the largest calling community in America. Talk to any Singular or AT&T Wireless customer for free.
Hey, what's going on?
All 46 million of them. Add a member of your family tree to ours for just $9.99 a line. The new Singular, raising the bar.
Hi, I'd like to redeem my credit card miles someplace warm.
No.
But I'm in Chicago. It's freezing.
Ooh, I predict a no storm.
Can my miles get me to Mexico?
No way, Jose.
St. Thomas?
Ain't happening.
Hawaii?
No, huh?
Cabo?
Cobb, no, maybe.
L.A.?
No.
Who's in charge over there?
That would be our CEO.
Go from no to no hassle with Capital One no hassle rewards. There's no blackout dates on any airline anytime.
9.
What?
Niet.
But
no.
I'm calling Capital One.
Nunca. What's in your wallet?
When you're a star like me, you just get treated differently.
Key to the minibar?
Ooh. They miniaturize an entire bar just for me.
Turn down service.
Fantastic. Somehow they know I like to sleep between the sheets. Even my independent insurance agent spoils me.
John, for you, the best policy is drive insurance from Progressive. I compared a lot of them.
You see, he treats me like the Sultan of Papa Mau Mau.
Actually, I do it for everyone.
Of course you do.
Everyone gets taken care of with drive insurance from Progressive.
He thought Charlie was his daughter's imaginary friend until people started dying. Robert De Niro.
Who's Charlie? Where is he?
Dakota Fanning. Hide and Seek. Rated R. Friday. Only in theaters.
10-point game, 2 minutes left, third quarter. You're watching Fox Sports broadcasting in the world's finest high-definition standard. Glad you're with us. NFC Championship game. Dawkins set up the last 3 points on the interception of Michael Vick. Alan Rossum, a former Eagle, trying to make a dent in this game. Get a chance to return this. And Rossum is dragged down. Good play by L.J. Smith, a 25-yard return. And L.J. Smith made the tackle.
Well, I tell you what, David Akers came running over to the sidelines down on the ground. He took some kind of shot. Here he is running down on the kickoff. He might have got his nose.
Akers, a guy who likes to stick his head in there on tackles. Caught one up in the face. Minute 55 left, third quarter. Vick keeps it. McCrary as fullback is there. And Fred McCrary on the reception picks up 7. Adams on the tackle. Now they're calling that last play incomplete. As we look at Michael Vick and the kind of pressure he's been under all day long. So that last play is an incompletion to McCrary, and we'll go back and give it another look. And the ball popped out before McCrary could make another football-related move after the grab. So an incomplete pass, and T.J. Duckett on 2nd and 10 picks up 4.
You know, Jeremiah Trotter had such a good game a week ago, and he's such a big part of what they're trying to do within their run defense. And McClure, the center for the Atlanta Falcons, told us that if Trotter gets up in the line, I'm going after his legs. Take a look at Trotter here, middle linebacker, number 54. And as he works in, you're going to see McClure try to go low on him. But Trotter does a good job of fending him off and then making the play.
Trotter with 8 tackles today. It's 3rd down and 6 for the Falcons. Vick pulls it back in and hits Finneran. Brian Finneran is into Philadelphia territory and out of bounds inside the 40 at the 39.
It really just looked like a busted coverage that time. They had Javon Curse in the joker position right over the middle of the ball, and for some reason he was drawn to the completely opposite side of the field, as was the entire defense. They thought it was a screen pass left, and instead they go to Finneran all the way back across the field the other way for a huge play.
This could be one of the final plays the Falcons have to run into the wind. On 1st down, they hand it to Duckett. Duckett hit by Walker and Adams. And if the Falcons choose to let the game clock run out, they can, and then play with the wind the entire 4th quarter.
And I think what we're seeing, Joe, from the Atlanta Falcons, when they've been able to create plays and move the football and score points, it's been because they've been able to make plays in the passing game. I think that's going to have to continue here into the 4th quarter, and Michael Vick's going to have to make some plays throwing the ball if they're going to be able to pull this thing out and win this game.
They look at Akers on the sideline. The Eagles players hold up 4 fingers. It's the 4th quarter. 1 quarter to go. The Eagles 15 minutes away from Super Bowl 39. Lead by 10. Back after this from your local Fox station.
You're watching the NFC Championship on Fox.
Chevy Malibu LT versus Toyota Camry XL EV6. Malibu has factory-installed remote vehicle start. Camry doesn't. Malibu has a flat fold front passenger seat. Not Camry. Malibu even has better fuel economy. Proof once again that all cars are not created equal. And even with all this, the 2005 Chevy Malibu LT is still over $1,200 less than Camry XL EV6. Chevy Malibu, an American revolution. See your local Chevy dealer.
McDonald's new chicken selects and McNuggets made with white meat. Get them while they're hot.
I'm loving it.
When 2 great things come together, that's the sweet spot. Introducing the most powerful midsize truck, period. The all-new 265 horsepower Nissan Frontier. Welcome to the sweet spot.
20,000 homes without power and even colder temperatures on the way tonight at 10.
These 2 organizations dreaming for a chance to play for the Lombardi Trophy February 6th in Jacksonville. 1 quarter to go. The Eagles in their 4th consecutive championship game have trailed after 3 quarters. The 3 games prior to this one, they lead it by 10. Vick pulled it back and fires it into the ground, trying to set up a screen for Dunn, and Vick ends up on the seat of his pants. There was pressure by Michael Lewis, and it's 3rd down for Atlanta.
Derek Burgess coming through. I know it was a screen pass, and typically you don't get that kind of pressure on a screen pass, but he just came screaming right for Michael Vick, and his entire purpose today, talking about Burgess, is to prevent that bootleg, and so those plays off the play action just not as effective as they may otherwise be.
3rd down and 10. Vick hands it. Dunn gets out of 1 tackle. Can't get much. Warwick Dunn is brought down at the 38. Picked up only 1. It's 4th down. And the Falcons will bring their punt team onto the field.
Chris, as you mentioned a little bit earlier, Jim Mora told us that they were going to run the ball in certain situations on 3rd down, but 3rd and 10 and where you're at on the field, I'm not so sure there that I'm not trying to throw the football.
You know, that time Todd McClure, the center, thought he could just give a shove to Darwin Walker and then release down the field, but when he did that, he allowed Walker to get back in there. That would have been a huge play.
Darwin Walker, the guy who got his hands on Dunn as a fan gets onto the field and then is taken down immediately, so his fame is short-lived. And with 14-16 left in this 4th quarter, a punt is coming from Atlanta.
And maybe the best hit of the day was by the security guard.
You know, one of the things that the Falcons, by running the ball, were attempting to do was that if they could get a little more yardage out of that play and get in field goal range, but boy, it's asking a lot on that play in order to pick up about 8 yards.
They really had an opportunity to bust one out of there. Darwin Walker just saved the day. There was a gaping hole on that last one.
So Moore finally gets to punt with the wind, and in this case he's trying to down it inside the 20. Instead he booms it into the end zone, and that's a terrible punt for Atlanta. You're playing a field position game and Moore unleashes one into the end zone. That means the Eagles start at their own 20, leading by 10.
You done me wrong. Done me wrong. So I'm moving on. Probably stayed too long. Gonna be long gone.
For the 28th straight year, Ford was chosen more often than any other brand of truck, setting an all-time sales record.
Moving on.
Yeah. Say it with me. Say it with me. Here we go. Let's go, insurers and adjusters. Let's go.
Grill.
Let's go, insurers and adjusters. Let's
$80.
Go. Cut that meat.
Sandwich.
Cut that meat.
$6.
Cut that meat.
Gas.
And it's full.
$20.
You're my favorite accountant. Tommy, please. Johnny, please join my fantasy team. You're my favorite worker.
Fans.
Yes. Woo!
Priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
Okay. Never gonna wash his hand. Right here, look at that.
Cold, hard facts. As the Super Bowl approaches, millions of bottles of refreshing frost-brewed Coors Light will be tackled. Fans will get in touch with their inner linebacker. Grown men will dance. Games will be won. Voices will be lost. And tons of lucky hot dogs will be washed down by Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. The coldest tasting beer in the world and the official beer sponsor of Super Bowl 39.
The NFC Championship is brought to you by the next Ford F-150 built Ford Tough. By Subway, can you feel the heat rising? Get ready to experience a fresh toasted sub. Subway, eat fresh. By MasterCard, there are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. And by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, one taste and you get it.
Each team trying to make it to its second Super Bowl. It's a 20-10 Philadelphia lead just starting the 4th quarter, 13:59 left. And Donovan McNabb in his first 3 championship games compared to today. 1 touchdown, no interceptions, a quarterback rating of 107. He was at 104 during the regular year. Have to come away impressed with this Atlanta defense, and they're asked to make another stop as Dorsey Levens gets it, picks up 4. Fox tomorrow, the nonstop season of 24 continues on its regular night and time. It's a new heart-stopping episode of 24 tomorrow, 9 Eastern, 8 Central, right here on Fox. Off to a great start. Gets better and better week after week. 2nd down and 6 here for the Eagles.
You know, one of the things defensive coordinator Ed Donatel prides himself on is being able to create turnovers. In fact, 14 interceptions in 14 of 17 games this season. They've yet to get one in this game.
2nd down and 6. McNabb throws left and over the head of Westbrook as that pass took off.
Well, they did a late move with Brian Westbrook outside and caught him in man coverage. Westbrook makes a tremendous move on the slant, and Donovan McNabb just lets it get away from him. He is just going to be wide open out here working against Morton, who's been the guy they've been after all day. Look at this move, wide open, and Donovan just sailed it.
That brings up 3rd and 6. They toss with McNabb blocking Greg Lewis. Lewis has a first down for the Eagles. And it was McNabb as his lead blocker. Whatever it takes, it's a gain of 10.
Really nice design here on the play. They're going to run the tailback as though they're sweeping to him, and then the ball comes out to Greg Lewis. Underneath all of that, the flow of the defenders was to Brian Westbrook. Nobody out in front. You got Donovan McNabb just securing the edge, and then good blocking on the outside by Pinkston.
Remember what they were telling us, because they won so big last week against Minnesota. They had a few tricks left in their old play bag there, and they pulled one out there. Great call by Andy Reid.
Handoff is to Westbrook, who's been much more active in this second half. Bryant gets 4. This Philadelphia franchise won the NFL championship game in 48, 49, and 60. In 1980, they got to the Super Bowl, but lost Super Bowl 15 to Oakland. Head coach was Dick Vermeil back then. Now they're in their 4th consecutive NFC championship game. A brilliantly run organization. But this round has been the end of their season for the last 3 years. A loss at St. Louis, back-to-back losses at home to Tampa Bay and Carolina. They lead by 10 here with 11:53 left. McNabb with all day fires, and it's incomplete. Levens was covered by Brooking. 3rd and 6.
Yeah, and this time Donovan McNabb, they try a double move on the outside with Brian Westbrook, and the defense doesn't bite. Donovan just is trying to get rid of the football and make a completion. Here's the look on the outside. D'Angelo Hall stays over the top. And I got to go back to what Terry Bradshaw said at halftime, and he said that in his mind, Andy Reid had gotten conservative in other championship games. Well, he certainly hasn't gotten conservative here. He's still trying to take his shots down the field.
3rd down and 6. McNabb throws, and it's incomplete. L.J. Smith, the intended receiver, and another very good job by this Atlanta defense.
Yeah, this defense done a good job of keeping this team in the game, and it looked to me, Chris, like Donovan may have had a shot there, a ball again that just got away from him.
Yeah, I think at the last second he saw the cornerback on the outside and knew that if he let his inside receiver out there, he might get it picked, and just basically threw it to dirt.
That drive only took 2 minutes and 19 seconds off the clock. Good punt by Johnson. Punting into the wind, he gets off his 2nd good one of the day. And Rossum is out of bounds at the 30. That's where the Falcons will set up as they trail by 10.
Every Subway sandwich is made fresh right in front of you, so you choose all the ingredients. The meat, the veggies, the fresh baked bread. No wonder so many people are coming over to the great taste of Subway subs. Because when you really think about it, they don't make the sandwiches, you do. Subway, eat fresh.
Fresh toasted subs by Subway restaurants present the Super Bowl 39 Post a Toast contest. Do you love the Super Bowl? Log on and post a toast that proves your passion for the game. The top 2 toasts will win an all expenses paid trip for 2 to Super Bowl 39.
Fuel economy like a car. Cargo room and versatility like an SUV. The totally new Ford Freestyle. One vehicle, endless possibilities. Ford, built for the road ahead.
Hello? They have been trained to hunt it. Now,
This is just the beginning.
they just have to survive it. Alone in the Dark. Rated R. In theaters Friday.
His mom has got it going on.
fall in love with the rich, bold flavor of Dr. Pepper. One taste, and you get it.
Todd Weiner, who injured his left ankle in the win over St. Louis last weekend, is on the sideline, and taking over at right tackle for Atlanta is Steve Herndon, who's more of a guard. And against this very good pass rush of the Philadelphia Eagles, Steve Herndon will get some help. Looks like his leg's all right.
Yeah, it sure does.
11:29 left, fourth quarter, 10-point Philadelphia lead. Vick, done out of the backfield, had to leap to get it, and he's out of bounds, knocked out by Adams, a gain of 3 down to Pam Oliver.
Hey, Joe, as the second half progresses, and with each and every success it has against Michael Vick and company, the Eagles defense is getting sky high. They've been talking about playing loose all week, and that group has been that way the whole game. After that last trip off the field, Hollis Thomas took some time to complain about some dirt in his Gatorade. But on a more serious note, everyone seems to be encouraging each other just to finish the job.
All right, Pam, thanks. 3 sacks today of Michael Vick for this Philadelphia defense as Vick keeps it. Burgess in his way, and Burgess makes a fantastic play. The 4th sack of the day for this Philadelphia defense.
Well, they have basically been forced because Javon Curse is on the other side of the field. The defensive move Jim Johnson made, they're going to put Derek Burgess on the backside. And because they haven't been able to hurt him with that cutback run, Burgess and Curse on the bootleg has been able to sit out there and make those plays time after time.
Well, they got Burgess early in the game the first time they ran the boot his way, but since that time he's shown great discipline in making plays and not allowing Vick to make the corner.
3rd down and 11. Vick fires it, and a pass incomplete. Peerless Price, and it was Lito Shepherd who got his hand in there.
And Peerless Price has to come back to that football. He had a chance for that first down. Just not a very disciplined route. When you go down there, you have to stop and drive back on the football. Lito Shepherd did, but Peerless Price did not. Down at the bottom of your screen, he's going to sit and wait on the ball, and Shepherd's simply going to break in front of him. That should have been first down Falcons.
This Philadelphia defense has played better in this NFC Championship game. Coming in the 3 previous games, the defense only 1 takeaway and a sack. They have a takeaway today on the Dawkins interception and 4 sacks of Michael Vick. On the return, it's Mahe. And Reno Mahe is dragged down at the 35-yard line, where the Eagles have the ball and the lead. They have frustrated Michael Vick all afternoon.
Let's hope Rusty didn't get into your stuff.
No, I'm sure he's fine. And he's wearing a shot collar.
Hey, man, hope you don't mind. We dipped into your Bud Light.
Battery was dead.
Fresh, smooth, real. Bud Light.
Your dancing is good.
It's all here. By anchoring a more powerful 6-liter Power Stroke diesel engine to its frame, we gave the new Ford Super Duty more pulling power than any other pickup. Enough to lug up to 19,200 pounds. Don't get in its way. This is the next Ford Super Duty. Built Ford tough.
Where are we supposed to put the video conference room?
There's no walls.
What's this?
Your video conference room.
We need a desk.
Simplicity, powered by Cisco.
A thrilling new episode every week.
Go!
A non-stop season of 24. At 9 East Central, tomorrow on Fox.
The NFC Championship on Fox is brought to you by Bud Light. Fresh, smooth, real. It's all here.
The crowd wants to take over now. And the Eagles in their offensive huddle telling everybody to quiet down. It's going to be hard for these Philadelphia sports fans to quiet down.
They've been waiting a long time, Joe.
I'll say.
A lot of pent-up frustration in this building.
But still plenty of time left for the Atlanta Falcons, but they need another defensive stop. They hand to Westbrook on the reverse or an end around, and he was met first by Smith, a gain of only 2. The last major pro sports championship for this city of Philadelphia, the Philadelphia 76ers finishing off a 4-game sweep of the Lakers on May 31st, 1983. Since then, the Flyers have been in the Stanley Cup Finals 3 times, haven't won. The Phillies have been in 2 World Series, including 83, haven't won. And the Eagles have not been to the Super Bowl. They're trying to stamp their ticket with a win here tonight against Atlanta. McNabb under pressure. Smith chasing him. McNabb's going to run. And Donovan McNabb scoots out of bounds at the 43, picked up 6. 3rd down coming up.
And you just sense, watching the way that this defense for the Eagles has played, particularly on that last possession, and the way that this crowd's beginning to get into it, that this becomes a very, very critical 3rd down. The Eagles have to be able to stop them here.
And I don't think it had to be. I thought McNabb had a chance to pick up this 1st down. At this point in the ball game and all the things that McNabb has been through, you got to put your head down and go pick up that 1st down.
Instead, it's 3rd and 2. McNabb over the middle, guns it, complete, 1st down. Chad Lewis, who has a touchdown today, and a 1st down at the Atlanta 45.
Well, we talked about it a little bit earlier, that it was starting to open up in the middle of the field by McNabb constantly taking the checkdowns and checking it down. Eventually, that middle of the field is going to start opening up because those linebackers then begin to chase underneath. Or did he pick an opportune time for that one?
And I think that's where McNabb has been very good today. He's numbers throwing for 150 yards, but he's made good decisions and has not forced throws.
Atlanta Falcons defense needs a takeaway. Westbrook bouncing it outside. Cuts it up and picks up 1. Ryan Scott on the tackle.
You know, it's just so difficult for these Philadelphia Eagles to try and get back into a running mode. They have run the ball less than 40% of the time this season, and no team that has ever had those kind of numbers have ever made it to the Super Bowl. And so they are trying to do something with this passing game that no one else has.
2nd down and 9. A balanced attack for Andy Reid. Throw on 2nd and 9, incomplete. Lewis, and they do throw a flag. Chris Draft, the middle linebacker, was in there and may be called for pass interference. Flag came in late.
Pass interference, 54. Defense, hooked him around the waist. Automatic 1st down, spot of the foul.
Yeah, pretty easy call there for the officials. Chris Draft all over Chad Lewis when the ball arrived. And what you're starting to see now from the Falcons is they're not known as a blitzing team, but we're starting to see more of it, and rightfully so. They know that if they're going to have any chance, they've got to create some kind of turnover and stop Philadelphia and not allow them to come away with any more points.
That is the 4th 1st down by penalty for the Eagles today. 7.5 to go. McNabb. Lewis. Greg Lewis out of bounds at the 20. Forced down by Hall. And Lewis on a long list of players that the Eagles have locked up to a long-term deal, and he has stepped up today.
Donovan McNabb knows he's got one here. It is a 1st down pass. They go play action. Greg Lewis coming in short motion against man coverage. You really have no choice at this point in the game. You have to start playing man coverage. Like Troy said, bring to some pressure. And Greg Lewis just can't be covered in man coverage right now.
Well, not a difficult route to cover. D'Angelo Hall thought he was going to go back outside. He slow played it. Greg Lewis ran away from him.
Toss to Westbrook. Hall the first to get his hands on him. Lavallee helped out on the tackle, a gain of 1.
I got to tell you, though, I really like what Andy Reid's doing. I think a lot of coaches in this league up 10 points in the NFC Championship game would be so concerned with trying to run out the clock and then play to your defense if you don't get the first down and not throw the ball. I've been impressed with the way that he has remained aggressive. He's continued to play his style of football, and that's what's got him to this point.
Well, we've seen conservative play so far in the playoffs cost a couple of teams games, talking about the Jets and the Chargers.
Second down and 9. Hand off to Westbrook. He's been busy. Brian Westbrook. Upended by Aaron Beasley after a gain of 5.
That shows you a little bit right there about the smarts of Brian Westbrook in a situation like this in the fourth quarter, running out towards the edge, and instead of taking it out of bounds, as a lot of running backs would do, tried cutting it back up, kept the clock running.
Brian Westbrook, with the loss of Terrell Owens, basically had to fill those shoes and then some. And this young man has just played sensational football in the playoffs.
Third down and 4. McNabb. Is he going to run for it? Donovan McNabb with a first down for the Eagles.
There you go. Put his head down that time and was going to get it. And he wants the crowd to give him a little more applause than that. He's beginning to think this is about to happen. They're about to go to the Super Bowl.
Well, we talked a little bit earlier about these fans have been waiting a long time. Donovan McNabb's been waiting a long time, too.
He may explode himself, and Mama might explode, too. A touchdown, the ball game's over. A field goal, it is not.
First and goal. Westbrook down to the 7. Brooking on the tackle, a gain of only 1.
Well, as we've seen throughout this drive, along with the passes of Donovan McNabb, this offensive line is just starting to take control of this game.
You can just feel this crowd just about to break loose.
Second down and goal. McNabb rolls, throws. Westbrook down to the 2. Third and goal.
Well, for the Philadelphia Eagles, now one play away, and Jeffrey Lurie knows it. If they can convert this into a touchdown, you're going to see pandemonium in a stadium like maybe you've never seen it before.
They flipped the Brian Westbrook switch at halftime. Only 6 touches in the first half. 14 in this second half. 10 carries, 4 catches, and a total of 79 yards. Third and goal. Play action. Lewis. Touchdown, and they will celebrate. Lewis comes up a little gimpy at the end of that catch. He limps off. The Eagles have to call a timeout. They couldn't care less about that. Eagles open it up here in the fourth quarter.
You done me wrong. Done me wrong. So I'm moving on. Probably stay too long. Gonna be long gone.
For the 28th straight year, Ford was chosen more often than any other brand of truck, setting an all-time sales record.
Moving on.
Not in our house, buddy. Not today.
Oh, no! This ain't going down. Not today, Johnny, now!
Not today.
Not today.
Not tomorrow.
Nobody coming in here. Not in our house. Not in our house.
Visa, official card of the NFL and the house of the Super Bowl champion New England Patriots, where they accept no other card to get you in. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
All right, folks, we're back now. To succeed in this game, Jimmy, you gotta have heart.
You said it, JB. That's why soulful Stanley Harris is our pick of the week.
Check this guy out.
It's the eye of the tiger. It's the thrill of the fight, rising up to the challenge of our rival. And he's watching us all with the eye of the tiger.
Just like my mama used to sing it. American Idol, Tuesday at 8, 7 Central, right here on Fox.
The terrorist group is moments away from executing the Secretary of Defense.
Fasten your seatbelt.
We are attempting a rescue operation.
Because the first 10 minutes are the most nail-biting you'll see all year.
No!
24, all new at 9, 8 Central tomorrow on Fox.
Chad Lewis with his second touchdown catch of the day. Capping an 11-play drive that takes nearly 7 minutes off the clock. Akers for the extra point. It's a 17-point lead. And as we come back to the booth, you throw it out there, you look back on this season, the Philadelphia Eagles were the best team in the NFC. They were the #1 seed. They rested their players down the stretch. Reed took on the criticism for that, and they have really played well this postseason. It looks like they're finally over the hump.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, I know that they've done it without a guy who really helped them throughout the season, and that guy being Terrell Owens. But I think the fact that they were able to go out here today and play the way that they have in what appears to be a victory and do it without Terrell Owens, I think validates a lot of these current players that are on this team.
And I think it makes it even more special for Donovan McNabb, you know, because there was so much credit given to Terrell Owens, and basically his thought was, hey, you know, you guys forget we ran this offense before. We were pretty good, but I just can't help but think back to Steve Young. And when he did the whole thing about taking the monkey off of his back because of all the Super Bowls that Joe Montana had won. And for Donovan McNabb, it has to be that same feeling right now that finally that monkey's been lifted off his back and he's going to the Super Bowl.
He was 3 for 3 on that last drive on 3rd down. Overall, the Eagles today 7 of 13 on 3rd down. So when he's had to make a play, Donovan McNabb, who during the week said, throw it all on my shoulders, I'll take on all the pressure. He has stepped up and done it for the Eagles this evening.
He's been a great leader for this team, Joe, not just this week, not just this season, but throughout his entire career. And it's nice to see good people do well.
Meanwhile, the Falcons trying to have some hope. Have Rossum throw it. D'Angelo Hall eventually on the return out to the 25. And we look back in time to the last Super Bowl appearance for the Philadelphia Eagles, January of 1981. Jim Plunkett and the Raiders. Kenny King on that reception. Cliff Branch in a 27-10 victory for Oakland over Philadelphia, and that's the last time that this Eagles franchise has been to the Super Bowl. Tammy Reed, wife of Andy Reid, who has more wins as a head coach than any other head coach in Philadelphia Eagles history. Vick under pressure throws, and it's nearly picked off by Sheldon Brown. Pressure by Burgess, who's had a very good night.
Yeah, they really have. And I think the story of this game has been Philadelphia's ability to stop the run. And Troy, maybe especially on 1st down, because they put the ball in Mike Vick's hands and force them to do something they're not really comfortable doing, and that's dropping back and throwing the ball. And when you do that against Jim Johnson, you're in trouble.
Yeah, and what did Jim Johnson tell us yesterday? He said, hey, the teams that have had success are teams that run well and tackle well against this Atlanta offense, and that's exactly what they've done. here today.
After rushing for 327 yards a week ago at home against St. Louis, as Jenkins can't haul it in, and he gets a hit from Brown. There's Ron Jaworski, longtime quarterback here in Philadelphia, all smiles. Atlanta today has rushed for only a total of 99 yards, 3.8 a carry.
Yeah, and I think that as we give kudos to the players and what they've accomplished and what they've been able to do this season, you know, we also need to give credit to this coaching staff and Andy Reid and Jim Johnson and Brad Childers, because they've done a terrific job in this game getting their team prepared to play.
3rd down and 10. Vick fires, completes it. Des White, he is out of bounds after a gain of 8. That'll bring up 4th down, and Freddie Mitchell, who showed up at the stadium and somehow has had his hair stay in that configuration under his helmet all afternoon and evening, has got it tight on the sides and a mohawk, letting it fly up top.
You know, it's just not like Freddie to draw attention to himself like that.
Not at all.
Come on, UCLA, what do you got to say for yourself?
I'm a little disappointed in Fred right now.
He's having fun.
He had fun last week at the expense of the Minnesota Vikings. 4th down and 2. Vick trying to throw for the 1st down, completes it to Price. And Peerless Price has a 1st down at the Philadelphia 45. That was good for 22 yards. You know, while we talk about Jeffrey Lurie and we talk about the Eagles, how about the job on the other sideline by Jim Mora in his first year? And you have to look at this Atlanta Falcons franchise. It's only going to get better from here on as Vick grows in this offense.
Well, I think that was the key. This is his first year in this offense, and Donovan McNabb said, you know, I see a lot of myself in him and some of the things that he does within this passing game.
That's an incomplete pass as it came out of the hand of Vick, but his arm was going forward. 2nd and 10 with 2:12 left.
Yeah, as we take a look here at Donovan McNabb, I can tell you from personal experience that when this game ends and he goes into the locker room and they celebrate and they talk about what a great opportunity they now have to go on to Jacksonville and try to win a Super Bowl, reality sets in a very short period of time, and you realize that now you have to go win that game. It's not enough just getting to the Super Bowl. You've got to go now and win that one.
2nd down and 10. Vick throws down the middle of the field, and it's incomplete as the crowd was looking for a pass interference call on Michael Jenkins, with Dawkins waiting for his 2nd interception of the game.
Yeah, I think Dawkins was hoping for a pass interference as well, but if Dawkins works back to the ball right here as if he were a receiver, it would have been a very easy interception. Instead, he waited for the ball, but very easily could have been pass interference on Michael Jenkins.
I thought it was a pretty good call, though. Pretty good no call. Jenkins came back and got around him and really didn't make major contact before that ball got there.
I guess that just kind of shows you a little bit about Brian Dawkins, the fact that he's still playing as if it's a 10-10 ball game here with 2 minutes left.
3rd down and 10. And that play didn't happen. The play clock right now is on 00.
Delay a game, offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Well, they'll put the seconds back on the clock.
And not lost on anyone in this game the fact that Donovan McNabb is now going to have just a second opportunity for an African-American quarterback to win a Super Bowl game, and history is not lost on him. He said, oh yeah, I've thought about that a lot. I was about 10, 11 years old when Doug Williams won that Super Bowl, and when I was watching it, he said, I now know I have a chance to play quarterback in the National Football League.
Coming up on the 2-minute warning, Vick, who does not have a rushing yard this entire second half, completes it. Gets it to Crumpler. And with 1:53 remaining, we will have our 2-minute warning. Frustration on the part of the Falcons. Jim Mora. 27-10, the Eagles leading on their way to the Super Bowl.
The NFC Championship on Fox is brought to you by Sprint PCS Picture Mail. It's easy for football fans to shoot, send, and share their own football moments.
Hey, aren't you guys tired of getting punished by your teachers for talking too much in class? Tired of getting punished by your parents for talking too much on your wireless phone? Well, now your parents can relax, because only Sprint got rid of ugly overages. Check it out.
Protect your family from ugly overages. Now, 100 extra minutes only cost $5. Other plans charge at least $35, and unlimited Sprint PCS to PCS calling is included.
Your parents can save money, so you don't have to wear your big brother's pants.
Sprint PCS. Now that's better.
Trailers don't have anti-lock brakes, crumple zones, or airbags. That's why we designed the new Ford Super Duty with the only integrated trailer brake controller, part of our exclusive tow command system. Because what good is towing a 19,200-pound trailer if you can't control it? This is the next Ford Super Duty, built Ford tough.
You're the date doctor. On February 11th, women relate dancing to sex. Even a great dancer can blow it with one of these. Now that's what I need to be learning. That's not dancing. That's a cry for help. Alex Hitchens. Any man has a chance to sweep any woman off her feet. That's where I come in. Has got your back. It wasn't so bad, was it? Hitch, rated PG-13. In theaters everywhere, February 11th. Never that.
The sounds of Philadelphia, the streets of Philadelphia will be kicking tonight. It's a 27-10 Eagles lead with 1:53 remaining. And right now the Falcons are faced with a 4th down. 4th and 8. Vick throws incomplete, and the Eagles will take over. A minute 47 remaining. And the reaction from the Philadelphia Eagles bench.
You know what? Those guys have earned that. Took a lot of criticism, from myself included, in the championship game a season ago. Coming out here without Terrell Owens, all the question marks. Could they get it done? And we've seen big plays throughout from this wide receiver core. Greg Lewis maybe the biggest surprise. Freddie Mitchell getting it done. Todd Pinkston making plays. But nobody has made more plays during the playoffs than that guy right there. And look out now.
And there will not be a better minute and 47 seconds left in a game in Donovan McNabb's career. To be able to take this snap and just take a knee, knowing that you're going to a Super Bowl, it's the greatest feeling in the world.
Look out, Andy. May not be the best minute and 47 seconds for Andy Reid when he gets hit with his bucket of Gatorade.
Butch will take care of him. That's why they bring Butch.
There you go. Butch on Andy's right. Tonight on Fox, King of the Hill, followed by Malcolm in the Middle, The Simpsons, Arrested Development, and a bonus block of Family Guy and another Simpsons. It all starts with a new King of the Hill at 7 Eastern, 6 Central tonight on Fox. There's a reason Andy Reid is one of the highest paid coaches in the NFL, why Jim Johnson is one of the highest paid coordinators. They have prepared this team with Brad Childress, and Reid gets his bath.
We've been waiting a long time for that bath. What a good man he is, you know. Just truly one of the great people in this game. Both he and Jim Johnson, and kind of exciting to see him finally get his trip to the Super Bowl.
Only one more snap will be necessary. And after 3 years of January frustration, let freedom ring, Philadelphia. The Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. Congratulations to the 2004 Philadelphia Eagles. They are champions of the NFC. They'll take on the winner of the game coming up between the Steelers and the Patriots. The first NFC championship since 1980. And on a cold, windy day, Andy Reid gets a Gatorade back. Much, much more coming up from Philadelphia after this.
Invention is greater than convention. Moving forward is greater than sitting still. Simple is greater than complex. Greater power, greater technology, greater beauty. The all-new Audi A6. It's greater to lead than follow.
Fox tomorrow. These moms traded lives, but when they return home, the drama explodes.
You live by mom's rules.
This is my house, too. Don't disrespect me either.
Trading spouses. Meet your new mommy. All new at 8, 7 Central tomorrow on Fox.
Fox Tuesday after American Idol.
Get some help.
It's the new hit medical drama, House.
Go to their houses, check for anything that might have touched their skin.
See why it's being called the best hospital show since the debut of ER.
She's risking her son's life.
I'm getting a second opinion.
He's not responding.
We're killing him.
If your son doesn't get this treatment, there's a good chance he'll die.
Who are you? I'm the doctor who's trying to save your son. You're the mom who's letting him die.
An all-new House returns after American Idol. Fox Tuesday. Michael Chiklis.
Any questions, Captain?
Glenn Close.
Plenty.
An all-new season of The Shield premieres in March, only on FX.
America's unofficial holiday starts with the Super Bowl 39 pregame show in HD. February 6th on Fox.
2004 was Toyota's best year ever, and now we're going for another record sales year. On now, the Toyota Drive for 05 sales event. Get the big rig, Toyota's 2005 Tundra. Get 0% APR financing for up to 36 months, or choose $1,250 cash back from Toyota. The 05 Tundra is smooth riding with iForce V8 power. Tundra, regular cabs, access cabs, and big double cabs. Drive for 05 sales event. On now at your Toyota dealer. Toyota value, that's moving you forward.
Is your transmission fluid old and dirty? Get AMCO's Power Purge. Only $79.95 at AMCO.
Comfortable, yet adaptable. Plush, yet powerful. Well-appointed, yet well-balanced. The Accord EX, because life in the lap of luxury doesn't necessarily involve sitting around. Get low 2.9% APR financing on 2005 Accords for well-qualified buyers.
With a celebration about to follow on a stage that's been tucked away for far too long for Philadelphia Eagles fans. A stage that was probably brought over from the vet. We'll tell you that UPS delivers a chance to win the ultimate home football experience. Just log on to foxsports.com on MSN. The day for Donovan McNabb. 2 touchdowns. They did not turn the ball over. Brian Westbrook, 135 total yards. And Chad Lewis, former Pro Bowl tight end, with 2 touchdown catches from the right hand of Donovan McNabb. They will celebrate at midfield here in Philadelphia. They will present the trophy. A matchup of Michael Vick, Donovan McNabb, the Atlanta Falcons, the Philadelphia Eagles. The 4th try, the Eagles make good. They're headed to the Super Bowl. JB and the gang coming up. Philly wins at a final of 27-10. It's on to Jacksonville for the Eagles. JB?
It's the Subway postgame show, brought to you by Subway. Can you feel the heat rising? Get ready to experience a fresh toasted sub. Subway, eat fresh.
All right, Joe Buck. Well, it is amazing. In a town that is synonymous with the movie Rocky, the Eagles crawled off the canvas 3 times, and tonight they can finally say, yo, Adrian, we made it. Standing by for the championship trophy presentation, our guy, Terry Bradshaw. Terry?
Thank you, JB, so much. Mr. Lurie, Earl Morrall, this is the George S. Halas trophies that represents the NFC champions, Philadelphia. Are you happy? Congratulations. Earl Morrall, great quarterback, 20 years in the league. The Baltimore Colts, Miami Dolphins. Will you do the honors to Mr. Lurie, please?
Yes, I will. Jeff Lurie, Andy Reid, and Joe Banner, congratulations on a great win this afternoon and a tremendous season. On behalf of the Halas family and the rest of the National Football Conference, it is my honor to present the George Halas Trophy to the NFC champion, Philadelphia Eagles.
Mr. Lurie, pick that.
Good luck. Good luck in Jacksonville.
Mr. Lurie, pick this up. Show these fans. It's pretty heavy now. Let me ask you one question right off the bat. 4 times now, and 4 obviously is the charm. Is the word relieved? Does that sum it up pretty good for you?
No, you know, Terry, I can't be more proud of this team. Perseverance, commitment to be the best year after year. Very, very impressive group of players. An amazing coaching staff led by Andy Reid. And the best fans in the world here in Philly and all across America. They're the most passionate, they're the most intelligent fans, and they're the most deserving.
In the years that we've seen now with free agency and salary cap, the Philadelphia Eagles have been one of the elite organizations in the NFC. How have you kept this team together?
Well, you know, if you surround yourself with great people, terrific players, excellent coaches, Joe Banner, Tom Heckert, the whole group, and you set your goals very high. We got one more win in Jacksonville.
Congratulations, Mr. Lurie. Andy Reid, hop over here, sir. Well, we need to meet like this a little more often.
Yeah, I can handle this, Terry.
This is all right. Coach, of all the teams, what made this team so special? Finally, your 4th trip to the NFC Championship game, and you win it.
This team has great personality. Everybody here in Philadelphia loves them, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Way to play up to him, Coach.
No, that's what I'm talking about. That's our 12th man right there.
Coach, we're looking forward. All the Fox family's excited to be covering Super Bowl 39. It's been 24 years. The question on everyone's mind, I'm sure here in Philadelphia and around the world, is this simply, will Terrell Owens be playing in Jacksonville in Super Bowl 39?
Well, I have a feeling he will.
All right, you heard it right there. We will see Terrell Owens in Jacksonville. Congratulations, Coach. Donovan McNabb. How you doing?
I'm great.
You're mum great? Well, I'll tell you what. Before I ask you any questions, why don't you pick this trophy up and show these Philadelphia fans what it looks like? All right. Finally, do you feel like the world's off your shoulders?
No.
But we got one more game to play. And that's the reason we set out to play this game, is to win the Super Bowl. So enjoy it now, and we'll bring something else home.
Games like this are defining in the career of a quarterback or really any player. Donovan today, no interceptions, no turnovers, 2 touchdown passes to Lewis. Is there one play today that set the tone for this game and let you know that we're going to take this game today?
I don't think it was one play. I think it was the play of the offensive line. They did an excellent job establishing the tempo early and all throughout the course of the game. They let the defenders know we were serious about what we were doing, and this was our house.
Congratulations. See you in Jacksonville.
Thank you.
Okay, Brian Dawkins, come over here, young man. Pick it up. Give us some love. There it is. This defense, all week long you've had to hear, you got to stop the most exciting player in the NFL, Michael Vick. How in the world did this defense do it?
First of all, hallelujah! And then, I tell you what, I'm going to give all the credit to Michael Vick. We give him enough respect, but nobody respected us as a defense. Give me some respect right now.
Show him the love, Philadelphia. Now, I saw the interception was huge, but Howie and I and JB and Coach Jimmy Johnson were watching, and the hit on Algie Crumpler after the catch was pretty much a statement.
I tell you what, I wanted to set a tone. We wanted to set a tone as a defense. It's not just me, it's them defense, it's my line, it's Burgess, it's Curse, all them boys tried. We came and we brought it every doggone play.
I feel like suiting up. Brian Dawkins, come here. I'm not through with you. Here's what I want you to do. Philadelphia, you've waited 24 years. Brian Dawkins, get your teammates, take this trophy, travel around the stadium, have a good time. Congratulations, Eagles. Nice show up here, JB. Back to you, Mr. Lurie.
All right, TV, and indeed, the Philadelphia defense brought it. You know what, fellas, clearly you guys have experienced the ultimate winning a Super Bowl championship. Just give us a sense of what these guys must be feeling here.
Well, JB, I think after all the frustration of the last 4 years, and everybody saying, are you going to do it? Are you going to do it? You know, do you choke when you get in the big game? The pressure is off, but now the pressure will get right back on them because we've talked to a lot of Super Bowl participants that did not win it, and by not winning it, it's worse than not even being there.
Well, and I think...
Take a look again as Terry told Brian Dawkins to take it around the field. Fans are loving it. Howie, I've often teased about how when you retired, you still had a lot of that defensive mentality. You meddled a bit, but I'm sure you had to relate to the passion that Brian Dawkins was displaying.
Well, I think the passion, the emotion that you just saw out of Brian Dawkins has been pent up for 3 years. This city, this organization, this football team has been waiting for this moment. Brian Dawkins talked about enjoying it, and he's obviously enjoying this moment. But as Jimmy mentioned, there's one more step.
One more step, and you heard Donovan McNabb, who indicated he's mindful of that as well. Enjoy the celebration now, but we've got one more hill to climb. Folks, we'll come back with more. There's a lot more to talk about and feel in a vicarious fashion what these fans in Philadelphia are feeling with their NFC champion, Philadelphia Eagles.
What's been hanging over this Philadelphia Eagles group is getting past this round and into the Super Bowl. Who's going to Jacksonville?